Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you're joining us for ECAC Overwatch as Boise State is ready to head up against Mount St. Mary's in our match tonight. You can see the players already kind of waving, ready to jump into the action, and I am told we are going to be getting into the action pretty darn soon here. I'm your host, Jacob Palmer, joined by a Brenner lad calling all the action. Looks like the first stage we're going to be on is Control. Nepal is the one that has been brought out, and we were kind of talking before the broadcast about what to expect this game, and you're expecting a lot of Genji Sojourn, as that is kind of what we all know right now.
Yeah, it's been the defining meta. You might see a little bit change up in the tanks, but Zarya is still the tried and true go-to every time. We've seen a little bit Diva here and there. And with Nepal being the first map, we could see even a little bit of Reinhardt as we are jumping right into it. And surprise, surprise, it seems that the opponents in the blue will be going for that more traditional, but actually swapping out the Genji for the Reaper, whereas our Boise State comp is actually going for the Sigma main take.
Toast gets the first pick of the night onto Bagel. Boise State is kept from the point, losing one of their supports. So
nice aggressive push coming out from the Zarya, that's the advantage. And with maximum beam already, she's going to be able to run Kel down right now, as he's not able to absorb it either, but she's going to fall very low to the Lucio.
Mount St. Mary's still maintaining control of the point. Boise State is in the red for this match. Just a overlay issue. I'm sure we'll get that fixed pretty soon. Maxo picks up a double. Frost getting the pick onto Mount St. Mary's Zarya. And that's the point taken back for the Broncos. Quick shot from Maxwell onto Cozy.
Yeah, Mount St. Mary got a little bit aggressive pushing their spawn area there as Toast got eliminated. First pushing a little bit too far past the Zarya, quickly followed by the Kariko. So losing both supports, they lost that fight, had to fall back, and Boise State's able to wipe them out. But they are very quickly able to push past the door. Huge Molotov value from Maxwell and a great Gravitic Flux.
Slammed right down into the ground. Moses is already gone. Graviton Surge is brought back out by Mount St. Mary's trying to fight back, but it's not enough to keep clearing Bagel at bay. Kel gets the third pick. That's back to start, and a stagger on top of that. In fact, they found one person trying to hide, but you cannot get away.
Well, she got away.
No, she got away.
She got away.
But at what cost is the question.
Yeah, she got the Kariko teleport, but they do have the ultimate ready to run into the Broncos as they set up. They also have their own Kariko ult to answer it, and Dragonblade coming along with Rogun, so they're going to open up with the Kariko.
Ooh, nice right click from Clear. Now the Kitsune is out. Kel gets a punch onto Moses as well. Tempted by a boop from Bagel. Not going to find it. He's going to go a bit low on health, but overall, Boise State is just buying more and more time for themselves. One member of Mount St. Mary's has managed to take at least touch the point. Sound barrier to try to keep Boise State alive. Bagel's now going to do some fancy footwork to recover. Battle of the Lucios in favor of Bagel.
Yeah, Kel falling very low, but we'll come back with the Gravitic Plus and pull one out of view thanks to that little back corridor, but we'll get beamed down by that Zarya as Bagel's able to take down Kariko. Still 1-for-1, but with the Broncos losing their main tank and Gravitic Plus for a solo onto Maxwell. A bit of a cheeky play from Mount St. Mary, but Broncos are able to get up to 99, hopefully. Bagel's even able to stall here.
Yeah, he might have an environmental, but Boise State is just going to have to settle for 99 and then focus on the retake. Cozy is lying in wait for them, however. With this Death Blossoms, Boise State can't be too gung-ho about rushing the point.
Yeah, Frost even swapping over to the Reaper of his own. Maxwell getting picked off pretty early on. Clear falling down to 1 HP is going to have to fall back as well. Now they're just going to have to sustain and wait for the Maxwell respawn here. Cozy's getting very aggressive. He wants that Beyblade to come out here.
The problem is that Kel's been more than happy to just soak up that damage with the Zarya bubble.
Oh, there's the blade.
And it's going to work out. That's a double brought out. He gets bring out 3. That's a full team wipe on to Boise State.
Yeah, it did cost 2 of the ults from Mount Mary. Well, actually 3. The Beyblade, the Gravitic Flux, and the Kariko ult. So now the Broncos are going to be able to answer that with only the Kuriko that they have. They're trying to build up Sound Barrier and Gravitic Flux, but they have neither of the DPS ults, so it's just going to be try to build up that percentage. But now with Mount St. Mary passing 80%, Broncos have about enough time for one more team fight they need to push out.
Railgun out for Moses. Trying to push a bunch of damage onto the Broncos. They're staying out of sight.
Nice.
They gotta reach the point.
Speed boost.
They have the speed boost and sound barrier on top of that. They use the Graviton Surge. The follow-up. Oh no!
They swapped that.
Oh
quick.
No!
Broncos got it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Mount St. Mary backed up the point so quickly that Broncos took it, had it, and no one contested.
Okay, it was still a C9, but oh man, I was automatically thinking the worst, which yeah, I suppose that is right. Yeah, get them all off the point with the Graviton Surge. Yeah, that makes sense.
As soon as they got to 99,
Boop
no one was there.
Yeah,
just like that.
I just the actual thought of Boise State C9ing just seems so out of the ordinary for me. I still couldn't believe it, but turns out it wasn't the Broncos. So
it was the other way around.
Another way around. Well, Mount St. Mary's is going to have to fight, rally back against the Broncos in control. We're going to move on to the next stage.
Opened up with the Symmetric Teleport, but already health bars in the favor of the Broncos here. It seems that both are going to stick with their current team comps that worked out for them so well. And an early elimination onto the Mounts Kuriko is an opening that the Broncos could use here. 1-for-1. It seems that they made the rotate over to the point first, so rather than win the first team fight, they wanted to start building that percentage, get a nice railgun headshot onto Moses.
Ooh, lot of area of effect damage there from Maxwell. He's doing work on this Sojourn. Another pick with the railgun. Now focusing on to Cap.
Yeah, Boise just has that aggressive push forward after the Mount's very own Zarya pushed a little bit too aggressively forward, not having the support backline to help them up. Even able to scout out one member on their lonesome, which will be Cozy on that Reaper. But free 30% here is trying to make the rotations around, but Tank so far in the front lane. Back lane's going to get poked a little bit. Bengals down at half.
Taking a few shots. That's with the railgun. Maxwell takes out Toast. Another one onto Zarya and is in hot pursuit now. Going to get the immortality from the Kuriko, and Boise State's just making so much space for themselves, letting that timer head up.
Yeah, once the tank's down, it's free space to just walk forward because Kel can absorb so much damage and has the full support of his backline. With Toast and Zariel going down first, multiple team fights in a row, they really need to find a better rotation here, but a beautiful crowd's going to pick up all 5.
But there isn't the follow-up, and the sound barrier from Bagel basically cancels it out. Moses managed to get one pick. He's moving up. Is it going to be enough for Mount St. Mary to actually make it to the point? A nice flank onto Frost as well. Sojourn is making the plays. And that's the point taken for Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah, it costs them 4 ultimates in that fight. Both Kasunes came out, the sound barrier, the railgun, and nice, beautiful trade out for the Sojourns here. But Zariel's going to pick up a double and stop the Broncos from regrouping.
It's more time bought for Mount St. Mary's. Frost managing to get one pick onto Cozy. Kel taking a whole lot of damage, and that just allows Zarya to become even more of a threat. Charged up to 100.
Nice pick onto Kuriko from Maxwell. Forces him back a little bit more, but she can come back faster than most supports here. Broncos trying to go for a push through the mid. But it's still been a battle of the Zaryas of trying to get that ult percentage. Frost with a nice back. Ooh, he tried to go for the Master Flank, but nice teleport coming out from Cozy's to deny that. There's the Beyblade.
But the Zarya just eats it up with the bubble and answers it right back to its face. That's the one situation where all the damage that Death Blossom puts out is all of a sudden not to your advantage.
Yeah, Clear's going to be staggered out here. Tries to get out in time, will not be able to. Dies to the boop of the right click from Toast. This is where Mountain has been able to even things out here much better than they did in the prior map. The Broncos are struggling to find an opening. A beautiful Molly's going to cut off that choke point, but Zara's going to get caught out.
Like you said earlier, Brenner, once that tank is gone, there's so much free space for Boise State to take. They're going to move up toward the point.
Should be able to take it here uncontested, but Mountain's still able to even things out, so it's anyone's fight. They just need to win it and cap the point. Broncos have the win condition right now, and with the pick onto Moses, Mount's down one. A beautiful grab onto 3 of them. Should be Broncos' victory.
Sound barrier also to keep Boise State alive. Cozy is hanging on by a thread and gets taken out by Frost. Maxwell also picks up Zarya, and that's going to do it for Control. Boise State winning 2 for 2.
Mount St. Mary's showing a lot of life. They're able to come back from some hard teamfight losses and regain the point. I mean, they were able to get up to that 90%, but Broncos just clearly able to edge them out at the end, as Zarya getting the play of the game, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, that final Graviton surge, if I were to hazard a guess as to what that is, yeah. And sometimes you just need to be your own follow-up in terms of damage, and it can work out.
And Zarya is the one to do it out of anybody with the beam, especially. They're all going to focus on you to try to take you down. So Broncos going to take first map victory, heading over to hopefully Hybrid. That's what we've been told.
Yeah.
Never too sure.
Yeah,
but
sometimes the way this plays out can be a bit weird.
Yeah, so if it is going to be Hybrid, old reliable Kings Row is the obvious choice, especially if Mount St. Mary has done the research, knowing it is the Broncos' best map, but at the same time, it's probably the map that they have the best shot on, being probably their best map as well. Or they just completely throw a curveball, send us to maybe... No, it wouldn't be Junkertown because that's an escort map. So probably we've seen a lot of Eichenwald show up surprisingly in recent days. So it could be the come up here.
Well, before we get to that match, we want to leave these teams with Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch. Since we got right into the game at the beginning, we couldn't do this, but now we can. Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch 2, not 1, is to take fights in unexpected places, don't make positioning mistakes, win your 1v1s, and win the fights before taking the objectives. Doc's Keys to the Game are brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. So we will see what the choice has been. Eichenwald has kind of back. Yeah, we're actually going to Hollywood. It's been a minute.
All right. That is a map that is probably never talked about when you're suggesting hybrid maps of anything. I mean, everyone likes to say Kings Row's old reliable. Hollywood's been like kind of in its shadow the entire time, so it's a welcome change. And this is definitely one of the few maps we can see a pharmacy come out. We could see a lot more sniper plays because it really works on both sides. Hopefully we see an Orisa. I personally really want to see an Orisa. We never really get to see the horse much often anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, without the shield, not doing as much work.
True, but javelins is always very fun. And it's very fun anti-air if you're able to land that javelin on somebody. So if Echo and Far is going to come out, now's the time. But Hollywood, it's a welcome change. I'm very happy to see it.
Yeah, it is a welcome change. It seems we've been talking ad nauseum about how much Kings Row is played because it is played ad nauseum. But these last few weeks have been a bit of a surprise in that regard. Just a nice welcome change.
Haven't seen Numbani, though. We've seen it maybe once.
Yeah, Numbani used to kind of be the off-choice pick, but it's kind of, Eichenwald's kind of taken that spot now.
But Hollywood, very, like, welcome change.
I mean, the only thing we don't see more often is Blizzard World. That's the only one that's even behind Hollywood.
I mean, it's not even in the game right now.
Yeah,
so.
well, true. Yeah, undergoing renovation.
If we could, I wish. But sadly, I'm happily saying that it's Hollywood. And hopefully if we get to second point, we'll see an Ashe. Most likely it's going to be a Hanzo, but personal favorite is Ashe pick. Never want to see a Widow. Never Widow. So curious to see what defense. We could even see like a defensive Torb come out, especially now that he's back in the game after so long. Could be Bastion as well, as Bastion's been kind of that be-all end-all defensive, offensive DPS. So we'll just have to wait and see, as Hollywood's not a map we've seen on this broadcast in a long time. So curious what it might be in Overwatch 2. I believe this is also the first time we've seen it in Overwatch 2 on this broadcast.
Doesn't look like there's a time of day change though, so still out.
Okay,
yeah, that's fine. I don't think, well, I think the first third of this map could have looked, because there's all the neon and stuff in the first third, so that would have looked sharp in the...
But third point for the inside of the building, nothing changes until you get to that last little end point.
But that's also King's Row. I mean, it's more variety than King's Row would have been.
But at least Nighttime like led into it nicely on King's Row. Now it's just like very weird change, so who knows what... Well, we've seen Hollywood in Nighttime during an event for Halloween like 2 years ago, I believe. So we have seen what it looks like. It'll look decent, but it seems that they're sticking with daytime, as already looking at the lineup, it's traditional Overwatch 2 of Sojourn Reaper. Not going to see any variety on either side.
Both teams looking to pull out a complete mirror match of each other. Boise State attacking first. Will they be able to take it in their first engagement? Maxwell's moving in. Clear already getting a pick onto Toast. Boise State is now up 5-4. Moving on to the point and contesting. Cozy gets the pick onto Kel. It's traded back with Moses. Bagel is just on the point by himself doing work.
Frost is trying to get there. Doesn't have the help. Will get eliminated. So I think that's a Broncos reset after so many staggered deaths. But they were able to get up some good ult value, not nearly as much as St. Mary's, as now Cozy is up to 40%. Their Zarya is up to 70% for that Graviton Surge in the first team fight.
Oh, look at the charge too. Not only on the ultimate, but
field day right now. Broncos not respecting the front line. Zarya right now is costing them. And a beautiful
that's
volley.
Beautifully placed. Yeah, it seems that's been something that the Broncos have had multiple times, is they're kind of so eager to push damage up, they forget, oh yeah, the Zarya's bubbling and taking all of it away from us.
Also that Molly tick damage coming out from Moses. Broncos having a real rough time trying to find an opening as Kel falls down to half HP.
Well, now St. Mary's had the choice of stage, and they were confident with Hollywood, and it's showing.
Yeah.
They're still keeping the Broncos who are caught in the grab. So much damage from this Zarya, all charged up, is melting the health bars of the Broncos. A trade 1-for-1. They still might be able to survive with Bagel bringing out the sound barrier and Maxo fighting back with the railgun. It does look like they have managed to salvage this fight, but that Zarya is still a threat. She's down to low health. In pursuit into the shield, and finally takes it out.
Yeah, the double Katsune Miku coming out here was able to make the difference for the Broncos. Also, Frost getting the elimination so early on was huge, that the Broncos should be able to get the point here, especially as they're eliminating the staggered DPS and Toast, as well as huge denial. So it took them a long while. Mount St. Mary was able to burn off all the way down to 1:30 remaining. So Broncos back up to 4 minutes. It's time for Bagel to sit on that cart.
Taking a nice breather while the rest of Boise State push up. We hear a lot of gunfight being brought out right now, but I just want to see the Lucio chilling right now.
It's a nice short reprieve from the non-stop action we've seen. That is the first control point. But a beautiful grab coming out from the Broncos in a late death blossom. Will only be able to pick up one as Kel was able to eliminate
Can they get
the
the
rest.
stagger that Lucio is running?
I think he gets away there, but now even Kel falling back to the cart to try to take advantage of a near team wipe there. Bagel being the workhorse of his team right now, as we all know and love him to be.
Getting a bit antsy on that payload, but someone needs to push it.
Ooh, beautiful pick coming out from Maxwell. And now they're
another grab.
Only onto 2 members. Kel's not able to make it out alive, and neither is Frost, so they're able to retake the high ground and the cart.
Ooh, Kariko's taking a lot of damage, and Toast is going to be able to finish clear off. Moving up. That Reaper once after, but he's going to have to duck back. Yeah, we're going to get a full reset.
Yeah, you can only push a Sojourn for so long because her DPS output is insane. But with 8 health, she'll go down to just about anybody, so Zariel will be able to pick up that elimination, make that a double onto Kel, staggering the Broncos the much as they can. Only 220 remaining here for the Broncos. They have plenty of time to
that's
here,
scary.
They're pushing them down. 100% Zarya, man.
You have got to respect Mount St. Mary's tank.
She has definitely been the scariest member of is Mount St. Mary's comp so far that the Broncos have to take down first, or else it is still a fight, even with being down members, with losing that 6th member. Sorry, it's just been the scariest one, but Broncos are looking up here. They do have the Katsumiku as well as the Railgun versus the Mount, but they get the drop on them.
Oh, a lot of damage being placed out in response to that grab, and it's a wipe for Boise State. They managed to find it. They're going to start pushing the payload again.
All 3 on cart for sure.
Yeah, they need that going as fast. Well, okay, maybe not as fast as it can possibly go. They'll settle for 2.
I mean, 2's better than just Bagel alone. Trying to buy them as much time as possible. They do have the choke point of the door, so they're going to go out the side. It's just going to be killed to keep them at bay. Zario's falling very low, though.
Very low on health. That Reaper has something in mind. Cozy trying to get in the right position. Sound barrier brought out also by Mount St. Mary sends Boise State running.
Ooh, grab.
Just a minute left.
Tries to rebound here, but it's just the battle to sustain right now. Mount has the advantage. 45 seconds remaining.
Oh no, this is very scary for the Broncos.
Railgun comes out from Moses. Looking to pick up Kel, falls to half. But Moses is so far back, is unable to take the last final shot.
Puts a whole bunch of damage onto Kel, who's...
it was who used the Death Blossom first, and it was Frost.
He needed that opening. Saves him.
To quote a well-known Overwatch player, Nerdy, he who ults first.
I mean, especially with the Beyblade in Overwatch too, it paid off in strides. I think Mount is definitely upset with Cozy there. If you had ulted first, we would have had that, because it was overtime. So
I was thinking he was just gonna ult and end it.
He had it. He had the drop down and everything. This classic Reaper plays and didn't go for it. So now the grab even coming out. Now Kitsune coming out from clear, but Cozy finally brings out his Death Blossom, able to pick up 2. This is something the Broncos can't afford. They have 1:15 on the board. Staggers not so much, but Mount's able to clean him up as another team kill coming out here.
Broncos are getting pretty darn close to sound barrier as well as railgun.
Tiniest variety coming out from clear over to the Baptiste.
They want to go with as much damage as they can push out right now. See how clear can do. Essentially being on a 3rd DPS.
I mean, Kiriko is also very much of a DPS role.
That is true. So we got 4 DPS basically.
Zari's practically the 5th, so sound barrier coming out from both squads, as well as the Graviton Surge and the Railgun. Only 1 elimination is able to come out of it, and it will be the Cozy. They're going to fall back and give a ton of space to the Broncos, but Frost!
How he uses the Wraith form, or he tries to survive with the Wraith form. But now there's just 10 seconds left, and yeah, I don't think with Moses getting that final shot onto clear, I do not think the Broncos are going to get a full 3 points.
No, they were able to at least get halfway. Bagel goes in with the touch to try to at least kick in overtime. Frost just needs to get on to point, as Bagel's still trying to touch once more as the Kitsune comes out, and the wall coming out from clear. Patient window trying to find an opening. It's just trades, 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1 across the board, but both main tank and secondary supports down for Mount. Means the Broncos have an opening.
He has the Death Blossom. That could be huge here on the point, but they're keeping their distance, Mount St. Mary's. But Boise State is managing to get more push. This is crucial.
Clear back over to the Kiriko, having no ult already spent it on the window. Mount doesn't have any ult. He's waiting for it. He tried to go further to the backline, goes right onto a support, unable to get either. Finally able to pick up Toast right at the tail end, as well as Captain. So that's no supports remaining. This might be the Broncos' final push here, as 3 are down and they get it.
Wow. Shut my mouth. They actually managed to do it.
I mean, huge props to Bagel for being able to touch at the last moment, being able to hide in the corner and touch. And it looked like Mount even still had it afterwards. They got the first 2 early eliminations on the Broncos, but the Broncos down, but never able to swing it.
And not just that, that wasn't the first clutch of the game.
For sure.
That's the second one. Shout out to Frost back at the checkpoint for using that Death Blossom before Cozy did. If that Death Blossom had gone out and hit, that would have been the end for the Broncos. But now the Broncos can at least know that they've got 3 points. At the very worst, are going to be facing overtime.
Which is a possibility after looking at what happened in Control. Mount clearly has the capacities to go the distance with the Broncos. So now coming to Hollywood, where clearly they're most comfortable on this map. And the Broncos were definitely unexpected in Hollywood here. So now headed over to defense. Just hearing from Hero Lines alone, it seems it's going to be a continued mirror match here. So comes to defense for the Broncos, it's going to be all eyes to take down Zariel, because Zariel's been that huge playmaker for Mount Mary.
All right, we're moving forward. Well, I wish we could be moving forward a bit faster, but slowly but surely we'll get there. There we are.
Nice clear cut over. Still that mirror match as we thought from the voice lines alone, but St. Mary playing a little bit more aggressive, I want to say, trying to find an opening. As all right, Toast, we see you.
Ooh, let's talk about seeing someone. Cozy was trying to get a flank there on the upper level, has to Wraith form away. Maxwell putting a lot of damage out through this doorway. Bagel and Frost pick up 1 apiece. Now Frost gets a double, and they are chasing that Kariko back to spawn. Boise State making a whole lot of space for themselves. And this is exactly what they need, because Boise State also struggled when they were attacking.
Broncos possibly have a 5th man on the inside of Toast, just flying in and getting eliminated. Maybe unintentional, didn't judge just the momentum in time, but definitely cost them that first team fight here, as now it's just going to be building up for the ults, but Broncos had the advantage, and once again, first pick onto Zariel and Toast.
That's another team wipe for the Broncos. I managed to burn off a little bit over 1 minute from Mount St. Mary's time bank. It's going to be run it back for the Mount. Boise State Broncos just have the sound barrier coming online now for this next fight.
Yeah, sound barrier isn't even going to be needed, as Clear is going to be able to get a beautiful headshot onto Zariel, who's doing their job up in the front line, and rightfully so, getting eliminated first, but they do not have the support to heal them up in the backline, because they're having to worry about the DPS coming out from the Broncos, because the Broncos are able to win those 1v1s better than the Mount have been able to so far. So it's going to come down to the team play aspect here. But even then, that's going to be a struggle, because the Broncos have 3 ultimates to the Mount's 2. They're able to get the grab off, but it's back-to-back grabs.
Wow, that grab pays off in dividends. Another team wipe for the Broncos. Not only that, they didn't have to use everything they had. Maxwell still has that railgun available. But Mount St. Mary's, I think we might see a railgun fight here.
It's going to be all about those headshots here. Maxwell's going to pull it out first onto Moses as well. Drops him down to the last little quarter. Tries to find at least one more. Ooh, gets the shot. Still into Moses once again. He at least has the target prioritization there, but it will cost the Broncos Frost there, having to play so aggressive up in the front line.
Now that Mount St. Mary's realize they have a 1-person advantage, they push back toward the point. Ooh. Bagel trying to help his teammate back to the point as soon as possible. Clear's going to bail out Kel with the immortality. Mount St. Mary's moves on to the point. Boise State is waiting. Frost is so close on this Death Blossom. He's up to 95. Can he charge it up? He can. He's now got it.
There it is.
He used it on the point. Sound barrier used in response from Mount St. Mary's. They're going to survive through that. Frost is having trouble taking out this Zarya, but Maxwell and Bagel, some key picks. Maxwell gets another one onto the Zarya. Now there's just the Lucio left. Oh, the
possible swing, 1v1.
It has to be the Reapers. He wins it. Okay. It came down to a Reaper showdown.
I mean, both back-to-back beautiful Death Blossoms. Frost is just going to have to hide here. They just need this last pip here. And against the Sojourn, close range Reaper takes it, but she's able to escape very quickly thanks to that slide. The double grab right next to each other.
Boise State still managed to capture one of Mount St. Mary's, and that is enough for them because it starts what is the start of another team wipe. Boise State claims Hollywood.
I mean, you have to be thanking Frost for that. Able to win the 1v1, have the beautiful Death Blossom, and survive the enemies, and then survive the double grab. Seems Kel will get it. Seems it's all about the Zarya. It's all
It's
about
gotten
Zarya.
2 plays of the game here.
Again, just being your own follow-up on the grab, I suppose, but I would say Frost definitely the most consequential moments. Frost,
Well deserved.
yeah, and that's great because it's been a little while since I've seen Frost play, so it's great to see him be back and be so consequential. So as we are ready to head into push, our options narrow considerably,
Little bit.
a little bit. But what are you still predicting?
Toronto.
Toronto. And why are you predicting Toronto? What specifically about that
It's been
stage?
the most played push map we've seen. So when it goes into push, it gives the most leeway, and especially with the spawns, I think it's what the players are most accustomed to for both sides because we haven't seen any real variety for push. We've seen, I forget the other name of the map, the Brazil one once on this broadcast, and it was a pretty hard stomp for the Broncos. So if it is Mount St. Mary picking, and they already picked Hollywood and did decent on it, especially on the defense, I think they just stick to what they know, which is most likely to be Toronto.
It's watch point.
All right, it's not even push.
Okay.
Forget everything I said. We're going to Gibraltar.
Okay, whatever. See, that you were saying it earlier in the night. You can't always trust the order of these things.
Nope. Always going to throw it for a loop. But a nice return of Watchpoint Gibraltar. Arguably one of the least favorite escort maps from what I've heard from many of the players of multiple teams. So going at Gibraltar, no map Merc Wrecking Ball. So that's now going to be Kel, which we've seen Diva on this map a lot. But with how the meta is of Zarya, it can really go either way. If Broncos are defending first, I almost want to say I expect a Winston to help with that verticality because that's where Zarya suffers the most. Seeing a Wrecking Ball would be utterly fantastic, but
We can only hope.
I know. If anything, I would hope to see that coming out from Mount, as looking at the lineup, Clear has not been on the tank roll, so maybe this is where Clear takes over.
That could very well be the case, but the lineup is brought to you by Account Identity Trust Global Network, delivering real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for the 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. That is the lineup going into game number 3. Boise State looking to take this as they are at match point. Boise State has had a few scenarios also where they've held the team before the first point.
I mean, it's sometimes that possibility, and on Watchpoint Gibraltar, it's definitely a map you are well versed in. It's a map that's been in since practically day one, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since Overwatch 1. We miss you dearly. And so it's really what Mount St. Mary's trying to pull out here, because clearly if they pick the map, they have a strategy going into it. So if you think it's the Wrecking Ball, how are the Broncos then going to answer that with their own ball, not having their quintessential ball player on this roster? They have been performing phenomenally against them so far, so maybe they're not that worried about it. It's also very much come down to the Reaper 1v1s, and Reaper works very well on this map as it's now fully daytime. Still a little bit weird seeing
They
it.
just wanted to show you the classic lighting because you were getting nostalgic for Overwatch 1. I know how production is.
Who isn't nostalgic for Overwatch 1? But I also like how much more vibrant it is. Everything's not orange and brown.
That is true. It was a very orange stage.
Yeah, so happy to see it, as we can already hear the Winston.
And there's still a bit of orange here. There's still a lot of orange to see.
We did not want the orange to come back. But
now King's Row is orange. The orange stage is now King's Row.
what everybody wanted.
They changed the outside orange to match the inside
As long
orange
as
of
they
King's
don't
Row.
do that to Blizzard World, I'm happy.
This is what the renovation is. We were adding orange.
Please, no.
All right, well, we get into our first team fight. Kel has swapped. We do have a swap over to tanks onto the Winston. And it already pays off taking out Captain.
Yeah, and it seems Mount St. Mary will go for a swap of their own now. Moses taking over Soldier 76 and Cozy taking over the Sojourn. So swap for the DPS roles. Seeming to work out so far is not what I want to say, but was what has been happening, as we did see Cozy get the elimination, but the cart is being pushed pretty freely right now, stuck underneath the archway. Toast being very risky on this Lucio, trying to run down a Sojourn is definitely a cheeky play. But the flank coming out from the Broncos right onto the backline will lead to the elimination of Moses.
Boise State is getting a whole lot of push and is already toward the first checkpoint, managing to trap Mount St. Mary's off to the side. And just on that alone, they get the checkpoint. Now the team fight comes through after the checkpoint is claimed. Kel trying to push a lot of damage onto Toast, is going to be successful in taking him out, gets a double. He's taking out both supports, and Maxo also getting a double off his own. With just one of Mount St. Mary's surviving that, they have to reset.
It was definitely a rotation issue there. They were just stuck behind the cart and could not push out of it, as the DPS output from the Broncos was unmatched. And Zarya was not able to provide the cover of the bubble that Winston can as well, so they pay for it dearly, as already the Broncos are 75% of the way to checkpoint number 2. Now it's a battle on top of the plane.
Kitsune thrown out. Ooh. Moses is running in fear from that Kitsune, and Kel takes him out. He's now after Cozy and Toast, who is indeed Toast after that. Mount St. Mary's gets team wiped again, and Boise State is now going to get the full speed that they can onto that payload.
I would say Reaper's been making the difference in the DPS lineup, but I have to give it to Kel. Kel's been so aggressive with this Winston, and Zarya has not been able to keep up with him. That's another one of the Zarya's weakness that Kel's just been able to
Might just be a bit too aggressive as he walks right into that Graviton surge. Boise State has to duck back.
As soon as the grab comes out, they can lock down Kel. He gets eliminated, so. But they can only do that once in such a long time period that seems Broncos might come back with a Fury, but very aggressive front hold here, just face to the spawn door.
Also, I don't know if Boise State is even coming out that direction.
Nope, they went up top as.
Oh, they're waiting a bit longer to exit.
Loses one, team fight immediately pauses.
Talk about salty, the toxic gameplay. No, I'm sure there is a tech issue that we are just trying to iron out. Sometimes that can happen.
Overwatch,
Boise State,
tech issues? What?
But
crazy.
In the final point, Boise State had 5 minutes 44 seconds going into there. So you would think.
They need the time. They need the time.
But when Boise State was in their championship match against, I believe, UNLV during, oh man, wasn't that 3 years ago? Man, that is feeling old already. I think it was 2020 was the first year they, maybe 2019.
You know this better than I do.
I think it was 2019, but Boise State pulled off kind of a very heroic defense against UNLV, who had built up a very similar time bank on point 3. So it can be done. It's just, you know,
also,
you got to
Overwatch 1 versus Overwatch 2. So now you're down a team member. You don't have that secondary tank to fall back on. It's going to be a stretch. I'm also anxious to see how Moses does on this Hanzo. We've seen maybe a whole, 30 seconds of him on it, and it was him getting one elimination and then time pause. So they could go try for the double dragon grab wombo combo. They just used the grab, and I believe double dragons is only at 30% or something. So unless they have the hold of their life, Broncos can easily just run them down. Now that grab's out of the position, they can't hold the monkey down. They have no CC in that aspect. It's going to be all eyes on Mount St. Mary to try to get eliminations on those speedy targets. Right now, the Broncos are going to start this cart push.
Right now, Kel's going to be a lot less pushy. Is just going to take the cover that payload gives and move it around the corner as Boise is going to make their way little by little up the final home stretch.
Yeah, so Broncos need to be wary of the triple ultimates built up by Mount. Soon to be 4 if they held on to it long enough for the double dragons. Frost going in with the beautiful.
Frost again.
Frost has just been putting an end to whatever the Mount has in mind by just death flossing them before they can do anything. And look at that, that's 2 ultimates burned away from Mount St. Mary's just in that one foul swoop. And that's painful to watch. Oh.
All right. Even able to just Wraith Form through all of the dragons, only taking down Maxwell. Only 350, you know. They held them for about 2 minutes, or threw their bodies at them for 2 minutes. So, Mount.
Yeah, this is going to have to be the round of their lifetime if they want to win this. Otherwise, the Broncos sweep.
Which is not something we haven't seen before. We've definitely seen the Broncos have a dominating performance in the past. So now here on defense on Gibraltar, if Mount is able to push through at least the archway, they might get a footing here, but so many teams get stuck underneath that archway that we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, have heard that we do have another pause, so might be those connection issues just rearing their head again. We'll just have to see once we get back into the action. But now Boise State, this is what, you know, they're known for on Gibraltar. Granted, you did bring up this is back in Overwatch 1 day, so you do have the lesser tank, but Boise State can still hold very good on Gibraltar.
Oh, for sure.
They definitely use that underpass to their full advantage. I mean, that's the main thing. They love collapsing on other teams from there.
We saw Mount St. Mary bring out a Soldier 76 to complement the Sojourn. We know Sojourn's not going anywhere. She is the top DPS in the game right now, period. So to complement that, I kind of want to see a Torbjorn be brought out here by the Broncos just because we've seen them do cheeky plays in the past. Now, Goblin is not here. We will not see that cheeky of Tor plays, but I see it as a definite possibility because of his increased DPS output. No longer bugs, hopefully. And the additional destructibility with his turret might slow down Mount enough to where Broncos can capitalize on that advantage, and I definitely expect them to do so. So maybe Torb, maybe Bastion.
We'll just have to see what is brought out. Yeah, they could just go double. They could go double turrets. Turrets all the night.
It definitely would be unexpected from even us here on the desk because not having Sojourn is maybe shooting yourself in the foot a little bit with how strong she is in the game right now. Like, I want to say she's the equivalent of not having a Mercy in day 1 Overwatch because that 5-man Mercy res was, that's how you played the game. You didn't have it, you were going to lose pretty much. And that's kind of where Sojourn is for Overwatch 2. So kind of up in the air of what the Broncos might choose for the GPS lineup. Or they just go old faithful Reaper Sojourn and call it good.
Oh, still waiting for all the issues to be resolved as we can see the pause is still out. Boise State is waiting to head on to defense. Or are there any other choices that they could bring? You were talking up a bit earlier on Hollywood, although I guess it doesn't work out as well for Gibraltar. But yeah, I haven't seen a Far Mercy. But again, I think you're right. And just, yeah, we can only hope for something like that. But it's like you said, Sojourn is just so strong right now. You can't afford not to run her.
And I think you also have to give credit to Frost being able to perform phenomenally on this Reaper that with how well he's been doing on it, why swap off of it? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type situation, even though we have Sojourn, who is very broken, needs to be fixed, but Blizzard, small indie company, mistakes will be made. So
yeah. Overwatch having balance issues wouldn't be the first time, so. I mean, hey, you know, Sojourn, you know, I'll take Sojourn any day over a GOAT situation.
Well,
at least she's mobile, you know.
But at least we had more than one tank.
Yeah, but, you know.
We got to see Reinhardt at least.
We had more than one tank. The problem was we had more than one tank. We had more than 2 tanks. That was the whole problem.
But supports got to be in the spotlight.
Well, sure. If you're looking for both teams grinding each other's will to live down to the limelight. I know, but are you really that desperate to bring the Mercy back? Are you really?
Yes.
Okay, I've answered.
Yes.
Oh, man. You're really bringing back GOATs to see the Mercy brought back. That is dedication.
But also, it would bring back the 6th member, which is what we miss the most.
Yeah, I still don't know. I don't know.
It's definitely something that we haven't had long enough time to miss it, I would say. Right now, it's just kind of like, ooh. It's ooh, but it's not like we could even have the choice of going back to it. It's just taken away from us.
I'm just going to say, I've never heard an audience boo a comp so much as it did in the GOATS era. So, I mean,
on this desk, we've also had some hard boos for just traditional meta between you and I of just, come on, Broncos.
But, you know.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah. Sojourn does give you the ability to pop off on the headshots. It's like the pop-off that we used to see on the Widow or Hanzo, but with the mobility of a Tracer now.
And also the hit scan of a Soldier 76.
I know. It's like taking the best parts of so many different heroes and just combining them into one very fast package.
Which is probably why Blizzard's been so hesitant to nerf her, because if you nerf her, how do you nerf her with all of those aspects?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could nerf the Molly. I mean, the Molly's also pretty good, too. I mean...
So she has the AoE, the hit scan, the precision, the movement. It's just... She's the best. She's the best of the best. And finally, the text issues, whatever they may be, are finally solved. And it's now for the Broncos defense sticking to the Winston. Very happy to see it. It's not a Zarya. That's about as happy as I can get. But also the offensive Winston we can see from the silhouettes. Or is that a Roadhog?
I think that's a Roadhog.
Have we attacked Roadhog against a Winston?
Okay. Well,
and a Reaper? Okay. Oh, all right. Hey,
and they're bringing out a Widow, too. Hey, I got to credit Mount St. Mary. We were talking about we wanted variety. Yeah, so...
But is it the good variety? Like,
we'll have to see. Mons is going to have to make this Widow work out by getting a pick pretty soon here, but Boise State is maintaining some good sidelines, so it's going to have to force more repositioning.
Yeah, they took the top archway here, so will allow Mount St. Mary to get a lot of free distance, but they will get stuck underneath this archway as the Broncos will be able to just drop down right on top of them, able to at least scout out the Widow, but Bagel's going to win that 1v1 pretty handily.
This is what I was talking about. The Broncos drop down, trap them in. Cozy is down to half health.
Oh, almost made the leap over.
Oh, and this is a rough position right now.
Ooh, swapped up the Widow over to the McCree.
Yeah, but...
Another DPS that we never see anymore.
Well, wow. Well, that Roadhog certainly worked out for against Frost.
They know they're supposed to be on the cart, yes?
Yeah. They got something on cart. And they're pushing it pretty fast. Almost have it. Boise State's also got one person way up there in the control room.
Oh! Still haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, gets bailed out by the Kariko.
Kel struggling to stay alive.
This Roadhog is just keeping their health up. Well, as soon as I say that, it's turned around by Bagel with a punch to the face. Maxwell picking up a double, and just in time too. That is the checkpoint denied with little room to spare.
I mean, we didn't even see like the decimals of it because it was contested that quickly by Kel. So huge props to Kel being able to do that. He's bringing out his own Roadhog.
Okay, we're going to have a Roadhog battle.
I was going to say, is this the first time we've ever seen Roadhog beat Roadhog?
I don't know. Just hope we don't see Roadhog hook Roadhog, because that's the worst feeling ever when you're playing Roadhog.
I'm pretty sure it just happened.
Yeah. You hook the Roadhog and get a whole hog to your face. That's just how it works out.
Ooh. Katsumiku coming out from clear. Able to swing the fight and take down Cap.
Well, you know what? The one thing about a Roadhog is that a Reaper sure loves that big of a target.
Yeah, he will farm his ult off you. And they already got it back. Kel swapping once again.
To the Diva.
Something he's definitely at home with, as we've seen Kel get player of the game.
I mean, we've talked about how good Zarya is, but Diva's been a solid pick in her own right, too.
Especially not up against the Zarya, where you can actually, defense matrix against a Roadhog. Beyblade in the backline, able to pick up one. Railgun coming out from Maxwell, able to pick up two more. That will be a team kill. Minute remaining.
And what looked like a sure checkpoint taken by Mount St. Mary's, now they just have 1 minute left. Boise State is going to be going up against a whole bank of ultimates, however. They don't have Frost with that Death Blossom to bail them out this time, so.
I wish we had seen Zariel swap off this tank as we are nearing last team fight capabilities here for Mount St. Mary. Sound Barrier comes out running them down. Zariel falling very low. He got the hook off. But Moses left all alone.
Oh no, this Cassidy. He is trying to run away, but he isn't going to be able to. Now Cozy going to be heal back up, so Cozy manages to get away, has the railgun available. This is enough time, though, that Boise State has charged up their self-destruct, and they're going to have the Kitsune.
Ooh. Will Deadeye get value is also a major question on my mind. They have full hog, they went underneath for the archer.
There it goes. They have to move out to the side, but they can't escape in that close of quarters. Even with Kel falling, that is still a huge advantage toward Boise State, and this Reaper is now going to farm, actually just be content pushing that Roadhog off the point, and that's going to do it. Boise State wins with a complete hold, dropping down on the other team from the high ground, just as I called it out. I knew they loved this strategy here on Gibraltar, and Kel gets another play of the game.
Non-stop tank plays of the games all night long. And I'd like to say obviously very well deserved, but I think at least on Hollywood, it probably should have been Frost with those beautiful Death Blossoms.
Well, Boise State is always looking for new players to join our ranks in our varsity matches, and as well as broadcast and casting. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility can increase your chances as well, so go to boisestate.edu/esports. More information on how you can join the Broncos. Well, you were saying just now, you know, what should have been play of the game, but but this is the chance now that we can make our predictions for player of the game. We'd have to be unanimous. Frost was most consequential.
That Reaper was phenomenal to watch, to say the least. He played phenomenally. He was able to secure in very crucial moments, win 1v1s in crucial moments. On top of that, he was just able to perform again and again and again, especially on a Reaper in a lot of comps that just maybe would favor a Reaper, especially going up against that brutal Zarya from Zariel on Hollywood. But
looks like they're going to tease us and give us a choice of 3. So it is either going to be a Frost, and this is the play that we saw from Hollywood. Kel, Kel. Sure. I mean, sure, he got all the plays of the game, so has to be, even though we're seeing a lot of Bagel, we're actually going to see Kel because this Graviton Surge, there were so many ones where Kel was just making the play himself, even though Frost kind of stole that one away, so guess they still give it to Kel, or is this
for the final one?
I mean, even so it's technically Frost taking 2 plays.
I mean, kind of highlighting that.
I mean, sure, and Maxwell, but you know, Sojourn is Sojourn, you know,
Exactly.
And when you get players this good, Maxwell, who can make the Sojourn work, of course you're going to get plays like this. So
I would also personally just like to highlight Clear on the Kiriko doing very well, having very good Kasunmikos to lead his team into the fight, and surprisingly get probably 1 too many kills for a support class, but still it's up in the air between the 3. Frost is the favorite here on Destiny,
and it has been a while since I've seen Frost playing too. I mean, I want the welcome back to be, we see the player of the game is in fact going to be Frost. We called it out, Frost. A clutch play, 2 clutch plays in a row on Hollywood. It helped the Broncos win that match when they needed him most. He came in clutch, and he is the player of the game. Brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like how Idaho Central helps its members achieve financial success. Frost is your ICCU player of the game, and this is great. 1 Death Blossom, you just answer the call and get the fight with the Reaper, and he won that. So actually that's 3 clutch plays, 1 at each checkpoint.
Yep. I mean, and then we see him do it again here of just cleaning everybody up in the back line.
It didn't matter if Mount St. Mary's had 4 or 5 ultimates. Frost just negated everything so many times with that Death Blossom. It was great to watch. Well, do you have any final thoughts before we close out this match?
As much as we harp on the Sojourn top tier meta, I'm happy to see Reaper be by the side of her. Normally we've seen a ton of Genji, but I'm happy to see Reaper return to the limelight and even get play of the game on none other than Frost, who we've also not seen in a long time. So back-to-back, it's a good night.
Yeah, good night, I would say. If there's an argument to be made on running Reaper, Frost made that argument tonight. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game.
Sorry, it's just been the scariest one, but Broncos are looking up here. They do have the Katsumiku as well as the railgun versus the mount, but they get the drop on them.
Oh, a lot of damage being placed out in response to that grab, and it's a wipe for Boise State. They managed to find it. They're going to start pushing the payload again.
First team fight, they wanted to start building that percentage, get a nice railgun headshot onto Moses.
Ooh, lot of area of effect damage there from Maxwell. He's doing work on this Sojourn. Another pick with the railgun. Now focusing on to Cap.
Output is insane, but with 8 health, she'll go down to just about anybody. So Zariel will be able to pick up that elimination, make that a double onto Kel, staggering the Broncos the much as they can. Only 220 remaining here for the Broncos. They have plenty of time to remain here,
scary.
They're pushing them down. Battle on top of the plane.
Kitsune thrown out. Ooh. Moses is running in fear from that Kitsune, and Kel takes him out. He's now after Cozy and Toast, who is indeed Toast after that.
Now he's going to have to hide here. They just need this last pip here. And against the Sojourn, close range Reaper takes, but she's able to escape very quickly thanks to that slide. The double grab right next to each other.
Boise State still managed to capture one of Mount St. Mary's, and that is enough for them because it starts what is the start of another team Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena, where we are going to be playing some ECAC Rocket League versus St. Louis. I'm your host, Noah Godara, joined by our co-host, Joe Taki Chigbrow. And I'm told that you are the premier Boise State Rocket League expert over here, Joe. So here is what's going on. Boise State currently has only lost one game to Fisher in ECAC, and St. Louis has only won one in ECAC. This is the second to last regular season game. So Boise State wants to continue this hot streak. How do they do it?
Yeah, I mean, so Boise State, like you said, they've only got one loss. It's to Fisher. It's in the first match of the ECAC circuit so far. In order to keep this hot streak going, I'd say they pretty much just have to lean on their coaching. They've got some excellent coaches behind their backs. They have some good reps in. They have a lot of really good habits built up already. I think what it's just going to come down to is relying heavily on communication and coordination and making sure that they're just playing their game and they're playing comfortably at this point.
Playing their game and playing comfortably, that's what we all want to see. Maybe we can get the event details as we get into the event card. So this is ECAC Collegiate Rocket League 3v3 soccer, best of 7 competitive maps, and golden goal sudden death. If we get into overtime, first goal secures the game. And we are also getting into Doc's keys to the game, which you want to follow if you want to succeed, which in Rocket League is to set the play style, understand rotations, play to follow up, and make sure to have those sweaty comms. Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. So certainly this is an important match for Boise State, because with this, if they manage to secure a win here, they would be one game away from only dropping one game throughout the entire ECAC. So what are you looking to see in this match?
Like I said, I'm looking to see a lot of aggression and just playing kind of, you know, like they are on a win streak, you know, because this is a very talented team. Every team is pretty talented, but what I'm expecting to see is a lot of confidence, a lot of aggressive play, playing how they feel comfortably. Right off the bat, we see kind of a representation of that with Durtho going through some flashy plays off the wall. We'll have to see if Instinct is able to follow up after it didn't quite work out here. He does get the flick off the ceiling, but it won't connect with the back of the net, and Durtho will have to reset it with the help of Instinct.
Yeah, and we already have a goal here, less than 30 seconds into the game. Boise State, I believe the teams are swapped, so I believe that is Boise State that actually managed to get that goal, as Turks finds the ball in the air, won't actually be able to connect. E-Stream trying to follow it, but Instinct, Durtho, and Gil just trying to set up another goal, which they will.
Yeah, Boise State coming out on top early. 2-0 security lead in their favor. Gil off the wall with a pass over to Durtho. No connection from St. Louis defense. The shot barely sneaks in at the last moment off of a double touch from Durtho, finding the back of the net. A 3-0 lead for Boise State.
And we still have 4 minutes, so either team can either extend their lead or even it up. Gubbins tries to go for a shot, but it gets blocked out
Gil and Durtho alongside the connect, but Turks actually, this is an open goal for Boise State. They will let one through.
Definitely not what they're kind of hoping for. Part of the disadvantage of scoring this many goals early for Boise State is that there's so much time for St. Louis to come back. But that being said, they still have a lot of games to be played, so Boise State has plenty of time to score goals too. Gubbins leading the charge here, trying to find another goal, eliminate that security goal for Boise State. They're not going to be able to find it immediately, however. A block from Instinct will push it to Durtho in the corner. He has a little bit of space, maybe looks for the pass off to Instinct here. No one in his way yet. Doesn't actually make contact at all and leaves it for Instinct, but now has to play it off the wall and look for Gil.
Gil tries to find the shot, but it gets knocked away by Eastream, who is trying to find it. But Durtho just comes flying through, looking for the open goal, but Turks will knock it away. And now St. Louis is just trying to play defense, but also they need to get some goals. Gil is lurking. It looks like Gubbins got demoed, and this might be an open goal. It hits the crossbar. Turks will knock this away towards Boise State side.
Instinct with a deflect into the far corner, has a little bit of space to work with. Tap off the wall, blocked by Gubbins. Durtho looking for the pass himself, this time using the ceiling against the slide wall. Instinct is going to go for the touch. He just taps it straight up into the air, and now Turks will get it clear out. Gil playing that third man rule, able to keep the pressure a little bit longer. Leaves it for Durtho, looks for a bump, doesn't connect. Durtho takes the shot, and the bump attempt forced St. Louis to kind of preemptively go for the save, making an open goal opportunity for Durtho.
And with 2 minutes, 45 seconds, plenty of time for either team as well, but Boise State has a comfortable 3-goal lead here. Turks tries to make a shot, but Gil will knock it away. It's not an open goal quite yet. Turks will try to make a second shot. It looks like it's a little too high, and Instinct knocks it away anyway. Knocks it over to St. Louis's side, but it looks like St. Louis is on the offense, trying to make some sort of play happen, but Boise State is there on the defense. Gil in the corner. Eastream also playing around in the corner, but this ball is just too high. Nothing will happen.
Gil playing for the reaction, doesn't quite make contact. Is another open goal. Not quite prepared. Boise State will be caught a little bit off guard. St. Louis extending their line to 2. Not enough to remain in the game yet. Gubbins has to play round 1. Does get beat out by Instinct. Turks with the response. Doesn't have that great of a touch. Eastream has to counter, but Gil wins the 50-50 out to Turks. Instinct off the wall. Durtho off the wall. Neither player making connection. St. Louis will cross the midfield line and find a way out of their end a little bit longer. But Gil's just able to get right back into it with a flick over one and almost, oh, he does take it the whole way. Eastream will miss entirely. St. Louis will put themselves right back to a 3-0 deficit.
And now, with less than 2 minutes, you have to believe that St. Louis will start to sweat, as Eastream there got demoed, I believe. And now Turks is trying to find a shot. All of St. Louis is trying to make a shot, but they might have overextended. This goal is now open. Actually, Turks makes the miracle save, but Gil is in this corner trying to get the goal. It will get knocked away by Gubbins. Instinct will not get a hold of it, but Durtho maybe has a shot. No, but maybe some miscommunication there on St. Louis's. Both of those players go for it. This does get sent over to Boise State's side, but it just gets immediately knocked away. Gil is looking for the goal. It's too high, though, and we just have a little bit of stalemate here as we cross 1 minute.
Instinct going for the ceiling shot, doesn't quite find the angle. Turks with the pass away. Durtho can play it towards the wall, blocked by Eastream. Stopping it in the corner, gives Instinct a little bit of time. The dunk will push it out. Turks takes a shot, but Gil puts it back into the corner. Turks tries to pass again, but Gil is in the way again. Looks for the flip reset this time, gets under one, gets past the second, but will not beat Gubbins. Instinct playing it slow in the midfield, trying to create space for his team. Has to put it down. Durtho will take it away and put it into the corner and hopefully remain in control of the play unless Turks is able to get past both defenders.
And with 30 seconds, Boise State has to feel pretty comfortable about the lead they have accrued. Gubbins is just bouncing it around, and so is Eastream, but this ball is just in the corner. That is time being wasted for St. Louis as their own goal is being threatened. With 10 seconds left, you have to believe Boise State will secure this first game. Instinct is just playing dribble, just playing around with the ball, wasting as much time as possible. And as we cross into 0 seconds, that is the first game going over to Boise State in the best of 7.
Boise State University taking game one pretty handily. They gave up a couple goals, a little bit of some open nets in the mid-game there, but overall they had control of the game for the majority, and there wasn't any moments where there was even within one goal in favor of St. Louis. That's not to say that they can't come back, though. We've seen, especially in our representation earlier in Esports Tower, a lot can change in a series pretty fast. We'll have to see what kind of adjustments St. Louis brings into game two.
Yeah, usually those first games can be a little bit deceiving because it's like one team or the other, you know, might do pretty well as we immediately have a demo. This game getting started. And obviously the first game is not the entire series, so St. Louis will look to strike back. But Boise State already has a goal to their own.
Yeah, I would even wager to say that most of the time game one of a series, especially a long series, is rarely ever a close game. It usually is something that figures it out later in the series. Right off the bat, though, Boise State is willing to turn this into another game one. You can see this was an excellent play. I wish we had a replay on that. We had a pass off the sidewall, and Instinct actually came from the ceiling, I believe, to get that pass.
Now St. Louis with contact on the ball, just dribbling it. Looks like Instinct and Gil both saved it. A kill there just for backup. And now St. Louis is on the defensive, but they might have overextended. Now this is a 3-0 lead for Boise State, and we haven't even crossed 1 minute played.
This is very much mirroring game one. We'll have to see if St. Louis has a response. They were able to score in game one. It's not doomed yet. Gil takes a shot from the midfield line. No contact from St. Louis. It'll soar right over the St. Louis defender, finding the back of the net. We're less than a minute of the way through, and 4 goals to Boise State's name.
Well, the good thing about being less than a minute in is it means that St. Louis has time to come back, but at this rate, Boise State is just going to steal this game away. Or I guess they've earned it rightfully, as this might be an open goal for Boise State. No, Instinct actually has defended it, and now Eastream and Durtho are contesting this ball in the air, but it's Durtho who makes good contact, and Instinct is there to follow. This ball goes up into the corner, and it looks like this might be a boost play. Nope, fortunately not enough boost there.
The reverse shot from Gil, not quite finding the back of the net. He looks for the pass out mid, but no response from his team. Eastream looks for the demo, doesn't get it on Instinct, and I think it's going to cost him another goal. Nope. Instinct barely doesn't have the angle. Response from Durtho from the ceiling won't be pointed towards the goal either, so now Durtho has to look for the pass mid. Over to Gil. Turks trying to get the save out, but won't be able to get past Gil. It'll just sit in front of the net a little longer. Instinct has to bide some time. Doesn't have a clear shot yet, but Eastream will find a way out.
And now Durtho missing contact on the ball. This is threatened by St. Louis onto Boise State's goal, but it will not happen. This ball will get knocked away. Eastream is there for the recovery. Now Gubbins might make a play, but no, Gil makes a nice save, and all 3 of Boise State's players are here, all coordinating, converging on this ball, looking to make a play. Will it happen? No. Gubbins again makes the save. And now Eastream and Gubbins are playing in this corner. Instinct is eyeing this ball, looking for an opportunity, as Gil is just going to be here for the save. Eastream might be able to contest alongside Turks, but this ball, the angle's just not there for St. Louis.
Gil, response off the sidewall, maybe a pass over to Durtho. Durtho does get, wow, so we've gone both ends very quickly there on power touches. Now a pass over to Durtho on the other side. Eastream's able to counter, however, gets the flick up, blocked by Instinct, pushed towards the wall, maybe looks for a pass, gets one out to Durtho, taps it down, finds the back of the net in the upper deck, and that will push Boise State to a 5-0 lead with less than half a game left.
As we approach 2 minutes, St. Louis is going to start to sweat again. Yes, it'll only be a game two win out of this best-of-7 series, but it's still 2 losses that you have accomplished, or you have gotten, which is not good. So St. Louis needs to get some goals if they want to stay alive and even up the series, as we have Boise State just kind of buying some time here.
Durtho pushing downfield, able to get past 1 with the help of Instinct. They get past 2. Now maybe drop the ball down. He does get it. An amazing flip reset double tap off the backboard. Gets the flip reset off the read and then taps it down in again. Boise State a 6-0 lead with 1:30 left on the clock. It's definitely doable for St. Louis, but something has to change, and I just don't think it's going to happen.
Boise State is just going to play the time game, or they might just look for some goals of their own. But you have to believe this is an incredibly tall task for St. Louis as they try to make contact on that goal, but it's just not the angle. Gubbins doesn't actually get contact with the ball. No, this is in Boise State's side. They're knocking it away. This is just buying more time. Turks is there on the defense, so there will not be another Boise State goal, but now St. Louis is desperately trying to get a goal of some sort, and it's just not happening.
Instinct over the heads of one. Durtho playing it off into the corner, maybe looks for a pass from the ceiling here. Gets it past Eastream, it's wide open, but Turks is there at the last moment. Instinct with the follow-up, looking for the double tap, taps it down, can't quite get it to Gil. Bus played off into the corner now. A response from Durtho to get past one. Eastream will cut him off instead, pushing it towards the ball. Instinct bumped by Durtho, slows down the play in the midfield. Gubbins just trying to get past one. He's not going to be able to do it. Turks with the shot, and it will not be good. Gil will get the full clear, maybe out to Durtho here.
Now with 15 seconds left and Boise State scoring another goal. Unless some sort of divine miracle happens, this game too will go for Boise State. St. Louis will look to strike back in game 3 as they play out the final 10 seconds of this game.
And with that, if you're St. Louis, you have to be thinking about, okay, next game, game 3. I still technically have 2 lives left, but what adjustments do I need to make to prevent that kind of game from happening again?
Yeah, that is something that St. Louis will have to think about. But speaking of St. Louis, you know what is something cool that I found out while I was doing some research on this school? Guess what their mascot is?
Oh.
It's called the Billiken. I don't even know if that's a real animal, but
Really?
it's St. Louis Billiken. Yeah,
Billiken.
and apparently that they're like the only school that has that as the Billiken.
The Billiken.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Billiken versus the Broncos. Battle of the Bees over here.
Battle of the Bees, yeah. No, I'm curious if anyone in the Twitch chat knows what a Billiken is, because this is the first time I've ever even heard that word, actually.
Yeah, me too. It was today as I was doing my research. So we get into this first game. So far, no goals have been scored, so that's good for, I suppose, both sides.
Instinct already leading the pack here. Durtho with the block, pushes it upfield, gets past one, has one more to get past, maybe looks for a pass over to Gil, does get it, but no shot. Instinct having to play third man here. Gubbins staring him down, probably won't be able to get past. Instinct is up and in the way. A shot from Eastream won't quite find the back of the net either. Now Boise State moving downfield. Durtho flicks past one, has to get past the second, does get past the second, but Gubbins is probably going to be in the way. He gets the touch. Gil with the shot. It'll go high. The play will defuse.
And Eastream looking to make a goal here, but it's just batting heads with Instinct. Not able to find it. Now has to go back to their side of the goal. Instinct setting this goal up for Gil. It's a little too high. And now Durtho is actually here on the defense. St. Louis is looking to make a goal opportunity happen, but it just will not be accomplished. Turks coming along the corner, butting heads again. And Durtho is just going to send this away. Actually, no contact made by St. Louis. And now they have to scramble to defend this ball.
Gil off the wall, passing to Durtho, coming from the ceiling. The shot is in. He will take the angle from the negative side in far corner off of the ceiling. An excellent shot to start this game off.
And now Eastream will make good contact with the ball. Will get sent over to Turks. Actually, no, gets knocked away, swiped away. Eastream will get demoed by Durtho. Gubbins has to try and make the shot happen, and it will not happen as Durtho gets counter demoed. And now Gil is trying to send this over to St. Louis's side. The angle isn't there. Turks will knock it away. So far, so good for St. Louis.
Instinct playing it off the wall, playing back to himself. Maybe gets around one here, has to bait one defender out. He does. Gil will finish off the other defender, but the shot from Durtho off the pass is not quite there. It's a little high. Have to reset the play now. Gil pushes downfield, looks for the play out to Durtho off the sidewall. He does get it, and the ball will soar into the net as Gil bullies the last defender out of the way for St. Louis.
Durtho just always able to find these shots that are just kind of once in a lifetime, as we have Turks getting demoed there. It was a very nice shot by Durtho, and now Instinct will try to make a very nice shot happen for Durtho. Once again, Gil knocks the ball up into the air, isn't able to find the goal. This ball will be in the corner once again, as we've seen a lot. Eastream might have an open goal opportunity here, but no, the angle is not there. And now Instinct has control of this ball, will battle with Turks, and now Turks has a chance to send it, but Gil will defend this. Or maybe it will be Instinct as we have this ball go into the other corner.
Instinct trying to take the shot, can't find it. Durtho has to play it off the wall now. Has to look for the pass over to Gil. Soars in the air, gets past one. Gil has to take the shot, can't do it, put it into the corner. Instinct will respond instead, puts it back into the corner, maybe looks for a pass here. Demo on to Gubbins will create a little bit of space for Boise State, but they're not able to do anything with it yet. Eastream pushes downfield and puts it in the corner. A response by Gil, maybe looking for the pass over to Durtho now, but cut off by Turks at the last moment.
And now Instinct is just eyeing this ball that Eastream is playing for, and actually it looks like the defense there was not successful, so now this is only a 1-goal lead for Boise State.
This is the closest a match has been so far. St. Louis have their opportunity here to get their first game. The adjustment they made after game 2 is definitely paying off. We'll have to see if they can finish the job. Instinct looking for the clear. Gil is up to get the follow-up. So is Durtho. Instinct plays it off the ground, however, taps it into Gil, and will play it off the sidewall for a little longer.
Gil managing to send this ball over to St. Louis's side. So if they're trying to make a goal of their own, it's not going to happen for a while. However, Eastream is here. Shoots the ball, but Instinct is just there to defend Turks. Maybe tries to make a play, but no, Gil is there. Eastream battling with Gil. However, Instinct is there to send it away as well. This ball is just up in the air, getting sent over to St. Louis's side. Durtho is trying to make the shot. Gil isn't able to find the follow-up, and now this might be an open goal. Actually, the angle is just barely off, and Durtho sends it away. 30 seconds left. St. Louis is struggling to find a goal. They are scrambling. They want this goal so badly.
Gil looking for a pass, gets it over to Instinct. The 50-50 will roll in front of the net. Durtho has an opportunity, but ends up leaving for Instinct. No contact made quite yet as Eastream's able to get out. The pass downfield from Gil to Instinct, playing it off the corner, gets it out mid, but the clear from Gubbins is good. Eastream maybe be able to take it the whole way. The 50-50 on Durtho, though, does not go all the way in, and now they will have to recreate an offensive play.
And this ball, as long as it's knocked up in the air, and actually Boise State, to rub salt in the wound, they'll get an extra goal there. So it's actually 2-goal lead there in the end. So that is 3 games now. St. Louis is still struggling to find a goal, so maybe they can bring it back and turn this into a 7-game series. Or do you think the Broncos will close it out in this final game? Or in the final game if they manage to win this one?
Right. So coming into game 4 here, I think that they have to be feeling pretty confident. I mean, it would be kind of strange if they were feeling a little scared. That last game was definitely a lot closer, but it still felt like they were in control for a lot of the game, especially at the midfield line. So I'm excited to see if St. Louis has any more silver bullets for Boise State here, or if they're just not going to quite be able to hold on. Boise State seems like they're leading here, though, in the first 6 seconds.
Yeah, 6 seconds and already a goal. That is a good pace for Boise State. However, still plenty of time for either of these sides. Gubbins will make contact as we have a double demo. Instinct just dribbling, but Gubbins will not get away. Gubbins is playing disruption pretty well. But so far, this is not helping St. Louis to get a goal, which they desperately need if they want to stay alive in this series.
Gil playing it towards the wall, has the follow-up. Looking for a teammate out mid. No one's there quite yet. Durtho hanging off the wall. A pass over from Instinct. Durtho takes the shot. They can't quite find the back of the net. Gubbins now playing it downfield. Waiting for a teammate. Gets the pass over. Gil will actually intercede and push it a little farther than he might have wanted. Now he can go for the solo play or the pass. He has Durtho on the wall waiting for him. No contact from either player, and the ball will roll out to Instinct.
Now as we have a little bit of midfield play, see this ball gets sent over to Boise State's side, but it will get sent over to the midfield once again. Now Durtho alongside this corner isn't actually able to find the opportunity, the angle, but Gil is able to. Durtho setting it up for Gil, gets that goal.
A 2-0 lead for Boise State. They have their security goal. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Durtho pushing it towards the back wall. Clear out by Instinct. Follow up from Durtho. Doesn't look like the angle's quite there. Gil with the follow-up, and he'll be able to finish the job. St. Louis is clear. It was just a little less than optimal, and Gil will hop right on that opportunity immediately.
If there's something that Boise State is good at, as Turks gets demoed, it's capitalizing on players' mistakes. And sometimes Boise State just plays better, and what they're doing, they have 3-0 lead here. Almost 3 minutes left. Turks and Eastream and all of St. Louis is just trying to rampantly defend this goal, but Durtho might just be there to knock it back over to St. Louis's side, and now they're playing defense once again, not able to bring this ball over to Boise State's side.
The 3-point pass, Gil tried to hit it back over to Instinct, but they didn't quite get enough air on it. Durtho now playing it in the corner. Eastream with the 50-50, it won't be good. Instinct tries to force it in from that position, but he won't be able to. Now Instinct looking to create a path, bumping players out of the way. Eastream gets bumped on the wall by Gil, and now Durtho has a free shot at the ball here. He can do anything he wants. He goes past one, goes for the ceiling touch, takes the shot off the backboard. The follow-up from Instinct is not quite there. Gil playing third man will have to respond to the shot from Turks.
With Durtho just hiding, managing to dribble the ball, and it looks like Instinct was there just in case, but that was an open goal. And now this is going to be 4-0 with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left for St. Louis.
Instinct maybe hunting that third man defender on St. Louis's end, but right off the kickoff, St. Louis will actually find their first goal in this game. They have enough time to get 3 more, but the adjustment needs to come quick.
Turks will get nice contact with this ball, but it will get sent over to St. Louis's side once again. Eastream and Instinct battling it out. This ball is on the ceiling, and it will actually get sent into St. Louis's goal. Instinct manages to make the goal happen.
Gil with the 50-50 over to Instinct. Plays it off the ceiling, gets past one, takes the shot, and the finish with the help of Durtho as safety. Boise State will lead even further now. 5-1 lead, or 6-1 lead at 2 minutes.
With 2 minutes left, St. Louis needs to find 5 goals, assuming Boise State does not get any more, but that is not the case because Boise State is looking ferocious. They have taken the gloves off. They have gotten into their stride. Maybe St. Louis can make the defense happen, but it will not be enough. They need both excellent offense and defense. As we have Instinct and Durtho threatening this goal, St. Louis is frantically trying to make sure their goal does not get scored on. But now maybe Turks has an opportunity to shoot for Boise State's goal. But no, Gil just knocks it away. This will be a reset.
Durtho hitting it towards the sidewall, gets around one. Turks with the beat, however, will push it towards the back wall, reset the play. 1:15 left on the clock. He's got past one. Gil, maybe with the pass out mid to Instinct, takes the shot downfield. Gil will follow up with a redirect. Doesn't quite make contact. Gubbins makes the last-ditch effort save. Instinct will have to cut in here as Gil has to go back for a boost. Both players working together to find the way to get the ball out. Turks trying to play around one, blocked by Durtho. Instinct pushes Durtho into it, get a little more distance upfield. Now Instinct goes for the shot all the way from the sidewall. Will not go in, and the play will reset.
With 45 seconds left, Boise State is feeling very comfortable. They might play a little bit looser here, trying to make some plays, and all 3 are over here, and they're not even trying to defend their goal. And now Eastream is just trying to block the shot, but Durtho and Gil are just playing a little bit acrobatic, and Instinct will knock this over to St. Louis's sides, and Durtho finds the angle, gets another goal. This is 7-1 now.
The Brazil opportunity for Boise State now. 23 seconds left on the clock. It's a goal every 3 seconds at this point for St. Louis. They're running out of time. I just don't think it's doable. The mountain that Boise State has created is just too big. A great save by Durtho there, or Gil, I believe, off the ceiling of his own net, dodging the demo.
Lots of demos coming out here, but it will not be enough. St. Louis, unfortunately, will not be able to find the goals they need, and Boise State will take the series 4-0. And with their second to last regular season game played and that victory secured, they have one more game to finish the... I don't know what the number of wins would be, but they would only have one loss. And that was only in the first first week, so they would have this amazing hot streak going on.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling really confident right now. Whatever team they're playing next week has got quite the challenge ahead of them. I mean, we don't know who they're playing. They could have an equal win streak going on their end as well. But regardless, Boise State looks really solid right now. They're posed to continue this win streak. Now it looks like we're moving into player of the game. Our 3 options are going to be Durtho, hands down.
Well, we only have 3 out of 3 options.
Well, I suppose we could also go with the St. Louis player. They do that occasionally, too.
I suppose that is true.
Yeah.
But Durtho, Gil, Instinct probably. Who would you say is your player of the game?
Instinct's the second one, clearly.
Whoa.
But I don't know, man. If we're going with Durtho, Instinct, and Gil, to my knowledge, I might say Durtho. Durtho was all over those cherry picking plays. He had some really entertaining shots, and even though he was set up really well by his team a lot of the time, they worked really well with those fast and loud, I would say, aerial plays. It was really a good showing. Some really sharp angles taken from him. It was impressive shot putting from him all series.
Well, if you're going to say Durtho, I'm going to say Instinct. I think Instinct had a lot of good, like you said, setup opportunities for Durtho. But I think Instinct also had good plays of his own. Like there was one where he's on the ceiling, and he just manages to find this angle to get the goal. And so I'm going to go with Instinct. Obviously, Gil played amazingly as well. All of Boise State did, but we will see who the player of the game is. And it is Durtho. It's always Durtho, so I guess you were correct.
Well, I can't blame you for picking Instinct either. And like you said, I've backed Gil more than enough times when I've watched these players play. I think Gil is just probably one of the best setup players that we've seen at Boise State in a long time. He does a really good job of supporting his team, playing that third-man role while also making sure that he creates some really scrappy and positive, aggressive opportunities for his team with bumps and just playing around, putting the opposing team on the back foot for most of the game. But Durtho, player of the game.
Yeah,
definitely have to hand it to him. He had some insane shots and worked together really well.
And the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Durtho is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Congratulations, Durtho. And as we wrap up this cast for this series, do you have any final thoughts?
I guess my final thought is, well, Boise State looks really solid. They're posed to do really well in the last game. They've got a really good season that they've built up for them, and I'm excited to see what it looks like next.
Yeah, I think definitely Boise State can feel pretty happy with that performance. And we are going to get into the top 5 plays presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. For all of us here at Boise State Esports, thank you for joining us. Be kind, stay safe, and have a good night.
Boise State, but they're not able to do anything with it yet. Eastream pushes downfield and puts it in the corner. A response by Gil, maybe looking for the pass over to Durtho now, but cut off by Turks at the last moment.
And now Instinct is just eyeing this ball that Eastream is playing for, and actually managing to dribble the ball, and it looks like Instinct was there just in case, but that was an open goal. And now this is going to be 4-0 with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left for St. Louis.
Instinct maybe hunting that third-man defender on St. Louis's end, but right off the kickoff, St. Louis will actually find their first goal in this game.
They might have overextended. Now this is a 3-0 lead for Boise State, and we haven't even crossed 1 minute played.
This is very much mirroring Game 1. We'll have to see if St. Louis has a response. They were able to score in Game 1. It's not doomed yet. Gil takes a shot from the midfield line. No contact from St. Louis. It'll soar right over the St. Instinct.
Now as we have a little bit of midfield play, this ball gets sent over to Boise State's side, but it will get sent over to the midfield once again. Now Durtho alongside this corner isn't actually able to find the opportunity, the angle, but Gil is able to. Durtho setting it up for Gil, gets that goal. If they want to stay alive and even up the series, as we have Boise State just kind of buying some time here.
Dirtho pushing downfield, able to get past one with the help of Instinct. They get past two. Now maybe drop the ball down. He does get it. An amazing flip reset, double tap off.
would you look at me? Yo, I'm a lazy motherfucker, that's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it, you're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Left the battlefield, 1974. I'm feeling crazy. Can't get it out of my head. Oh no, if the devil inside takes hold, then I just might wind up dead. Wasted, face it. You're never gonna be the one. Rockstar, you won't get far. At least you had fun. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. A king or a queen, as long as you got a dream. Oh no, it's a lie. They just wanna take your life. Try to tell you it's a battlefield. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? Left the battlefield, 1974.
Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. You are joining us for some more Rocket League action as we have Boise State facing off against Penn State Behrend in the NACE Star League Open Qualifier. I'm Noah Guadara, joined by our co-host, Joe Tacky Chigbrow. And both of these teams right now, Boise State and Behrend, are 4-2. And only the top half goes into the playoffs. So both of these teams want a win. So my question to you, Joe, is how does either of these teams, they're evenly matched, obviously, both the same record, how does one get an advantage over the other?
I think at the end of the day, what it's just going to come down to is consistency now. It's making sure that we're playing to our outs a lot of the time and making sure that we're focused highly on making those plays that are leaned towards the higher likely to have the outcome that's expected rather than, gambling plays a little bit more. Maybe playing a little bit more towards those rotation play styles.
Yes, and it is actually a best of 7, so we could potentially see 7 games. It is a 3v3 soccer and golden goal sudden death. So if it goes into overtime, the first goal scored is the one who secures the match. This is week 7 of 8, so obviously this regular season is coming to an end. So both of these teams want to get a win here, and obviously to get a win, you need to have Doc's keys to the game, which in Rocket League is to set play style, understand rotations, play to follow up, and sweaty comms. Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. So as we prepare to get into the match, we actually see that we have a lineup. And we have Tree Goats, Hey Rico, and Styles. Do you have any comments on any of these players?
Well, I've actually only had the honor to watch them play on stage here once before. What I saw during that time was actually pretty impressive for a club team. Not associated necessarily with our varsity roster. It was pretty impressive to see the talent that is at Boise State University, so I'm excited to see how they respond to another team that's basically right on top of their own level. We'll have to see what kind of comes of it.
They are definitely very excellent, and today's lineups are brought to you by Count. Count's Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands. And it seems that we're getting into this game, Penn State Behrend versus the Broncos. And it looks like that first hit will be going over towards Boise State's goal. Exotic is playing around PGH Nation. This is kind of just a little bit of stalemate right now in the early game.
Styles trying to play round one. Gets kind of beaten by Exotics. He'll push out to the midfield line. Hey Rico barely beaten at the last moment, not making contact. PGH Nation getting the read off the wall, finding the first goal for Penn State here against Boise State University.
Definitely a good start, and actually it looks like that was the second goal, excuse me. So with about a minute played, Boise State is already 2 goals down, 3 goals down. Penn State Behrend is finding their momentum into this match. Now Boise State needs to start getting some goals.
Definitely not out of the woods yet. Exotics leading the charge against Boise State University. A response from Hey Rico, spiking it into the air. Styles follow up, hits it downfield. PGH Nation in the way, a block. Ends up not going any direction they could do anything with. Styles has to play it into the corner, beaten by Yoinker, who's now playing it past 2.
And now Boise State, again, just on the defense of PGH Nation. Looks for a goal, but Hey Rico is there to counter it, knocks it away. This goes over to Penn State Behrend's side. Now Styles is making the opportunity try to happen. It will not happen, though. This ball gets sent over to Boise State's goal once again. Treecoats is there, but Yoinker is lurking, looking for the play.
Here we go, passing it downfield, blocked at the last moment by Penn State defense. Yoinker looking for a shot of his own, ends up giving the pass out to Exotics, finds the back of the net.
With 3 minutes left, a 4-goal lead here. Boise State needs to recover some ground, but Penn State also wants to keep this lead. Hey Rico is in this corner alongside Treeguts, but no, this ball will just get knocked away into the midfield. PGH Nation and Styles will get demoed, so it is a 1-for-1. However, Hey Rico is not able to find contact, and now Penn State Behrend is lurking, trying to find another goal here. And Exotics, actually the ball will not get knocked into the goal quite yet. It will just get knocked up into the air. Styles sends it away straight into PGH Nation, but now this is Penn State Behrend's ball.
Trigo is playing it against the wall, gets past one, has to tap it down, gives it to Styles, the 50-50 in favor of Styles in the midfield line, but PGH will have the follow-up. Boise State will be playing defense for a little bit longer. Not the opposition they were looking for. Styles pushing it downfield, able to get past one, but not able to get past Yoinker, who pushes it against the wall, and Exotics actually hits it towards his own net. A follow-up from Hey Rico could prove disastrous, but it will not quite find the back of the net. Treegoats will defuse.
As this ball gets sent over to Boise State's side, Treegoats will knock it closer to the midfield, and Hey Rico actually not able to find the second contact. And now this ball almost goes into Boise State's net once again. Exotics and Hey Rico are battling it out, but PGH Nation is just here to recover, defend. Styles isn't able to find the angle. Hey Rico not able to find the angle as well. And now this ball is just in a little bit of a limbo state. It's not going very fast. And PGH Nation will just send it back over to Boise State's goal.
Hey Rico tapping it towards the wall. Exotics in the way. Treegoats the follow-up against the wall. PGH Nation has some time, plays it to himself, maybe looking for a pass if he can get another touch. He does get past one, has to look for the pass now. Gets past 3 defenders, but doesn't have the ability to get it to one of his teammates. Now Yoinker has to contest Styles. A demo onto Styles will create some space, but Hey Rico has the response.
And with about a minute left, Boise State desperately needs to try to find some of these goals, and it's not happening. Lots of demos coming out. 2 actually demoed on the side of Penn State Behrend, but it's not enough. This ball just gets sent into the air. Treeguts and Hey Rico not able to coordinate a play, and actually Hey Rico will get demoed. This ball gets sent over to Penn State Behrend's side. However, the goal will not happen quite yet. With 40 seconds left, Boise State is scrambling to try and recoup some of this deficit.
Treegoats pushing it towards the wall. A response from Yoinker. He'll be there first off the back wall. Styles is up. The shot finds the back of the net here.
With 5 goals and 30 seconds left, Penn State Behrend feels pretty confident that they are going to take this first game in this best-of-7 series. We'll have to see how it plays out, though. Who knows? Miracles can happen. But as this clock ticks down, get more and more confident if you're Penn State Behrend and Boise State. We'll kind of have to chalk this loss up and see what they can do in game 2.
Nothing to worry about quite yet. A best-of-7 is a very long series, to say the least. Even in a sweep situation, you still play 4 games. That's almost a full best-of-5. But the first game will fall in favor of Penn State. Boise State has their work cut out for them, to say the least.
Yeah, Penn State Behrend were just able to find a lot of just open goals, and Boise State was not able to counter with any goals of their own. Every time they tried to find an angle, it seemed it was too narrow, or it was like it was in the corners. They weren't able to find any like direct openings. And I think that was really what allowed them, what allowed Penn State Behrend to be able to have that defense while also having that offense.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. The pressure just wasn't in favor of them, and then every time that something's went a little bit wrong, they weren't quite prepared for it yet. But that's not to say that they can't make adjustments like we've seen many times before. Game 1 is not always a sign of how the rest of the games are going to go. Still plenty of space for Boise State to make a comeback here.
Yeah. And we have Treegoats trying to make a goal. Well, not actually able to find contact the ball, and that's an open goal. Hey Rico is not able to get the defense, and already Penn State Behrend starting off with an early goal, not what Boise State wants or needs.
They'll find one of their own right off the bat, however, taking a shot towards the far corner. We'll just reset, go back to a 0-0 scoreline, 20 seconds in. As if nothing had ever happened. Another kickoff entirely, though, over to Styles. A little bit over his head. Treegoats has to respond instead.
Will this be a goal? It will not. PGH Nation will manage to get it up into the air and send it away into the midfield. Styles knocks it horizontally, Sets it up for Tree Goats to maybe find a play, but Tree Goats doesn't have a lot of boost to play with. Hey Rico will threaten a goal, but it will just get knocked away. PGH Nation should deflect. Tree Goats looking for the play, but the angle's not there. And we just have this ball into the corner, now into the midfield.
Tap downfield. Tree Goats has the response, has a little bit of time, doesn't make contact, leaves it for Styles, rolls it downfield. PGA Nation push downfield instead, take the shot, blocked by Rico. It'll push against the wall a little longer, stall some time. Tree Goats takes the shot from the long field end, and Exotics has to make the save.
Exotics playing this ball up into the air, now down on the ground. Yoinker not able to find contact. PGH Nation just kind of dribbling this one along the side. And maybe this will be a goal. Hey Rico actually manages to find the angle, beautifully done. And Boise State with the goal lead with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Plenty of time for either team.
Definitely a flip from what we saw in the first game, however. Boise State able to actually mount some goals to their name and holding a pretty strong defensive line by contrast. Ball rolls up the wall here. Tree Goats is the one tasked with the pass, but he's not able to get it. A clear from Exotics. Be into the corner. Rico trying to outplay at least one. Does get the one out, but does not get any further. Exotics with the clear out towards the net. Tree Goats deflecting off the pass from Styles. And now we'll be stuck in Boise State's end for a little while as the battering at the net continues.
PGH Nation plays the ball patiently, plays it slow. And there was an over-fourth defense by Boise State. Allows Penn State Behrend to even up this score line with 3 minutes.
Bounce off the wall. Pass from Boise State to the midline. Tree Goats up. Doesn't quite make contact. Goes to the fake. Exotics and Yoinker going for that play. PGH Nation with the clear downfield. Now Styles trying to get the clear out, but is not able to finish it off. Maybe with the follow-up, Yoinker will beat him at the midfield line. And we're playing more Boise State defense for a little longer.
Styles just playing defense a little bit. Tree Goats not able to find contact. Styles is there to knock this back into the midfield, maybe set it up a play. And Hey Rico actually knocks this away from PGH Nation. Now this ball is on the other side of the midfield. Styles is in this corner, should be able to knock this towards Penn State Behrend's side. However, there is no goal to be made quite yet. Actually, Styles will get the demo, and somehow that ball goes into the goal. So now Boise State is up 1 goal, 2 minutes left.
Hey Rico getting first possession, lost to Yoinker. Clear out from Boise State defense. Rico will get the next tap, pushing it out mid. Exotics just has to put it against the ceiling. No response from Boise State yet. Styles will push downfield. Only has one in the way. Yoinker will push it downfield. Now playing it into the Boise State end. They have to find a way out of this predicament that they've created. Styles does win the 50-50 out. It'll pass over to Hey Rico, tap it down towards the net. It's a little too high, and PGH Nation gets the clear into the corner.
Styles watches this ball get sent over to the other side, but Hey Rico is there to pick it up just in case. PGH Nation will send this ball flying, but Tree Goats or Styles should be able to make the defense. Not quite the prettiest defense there, but it does happen. Exotics tries to make the goal, and that actually, the angles are just not there, and the defense is also there for Boise State. This ball gets sent up into the air. Exotics is looking to make the play happen. It goes off the crossbar. It's not able to be made. And Yoinker is eyeing this ball up, so is PGH Nation, but Hey Rico sends it across as Yoinker gets demoed. This ball is over to Penn State Behrend's side, and now with less than a minute left, Penn State Behrend needs to make this goal desperately, and Boise State actually makes it a 2-goal game.
They have their security goal now with less than a minute left on the clock. They have to be feeling pretty confident. Complete flip from what we saw last game now. Boise State running the offensive end. Tree Goats not quite able to find the back of the net off the play there. Boise State putting the pass mid again. Tree Goats can turn around to get the tap. Leaves it out. Hey Rico goes for the pass out mid. Can't get it. Tree Goats collects the ball instead. Plays it from the corner. Has to get past one. He does get past one. It rolls in front of the net, but Exotics will clear it at the last moment.
With 20 seconds left, Penn State Behrend desperately needs to make a goal if they want to stay alive in this second game, in this best of 7. Yoinker is playing around, just playing a little bit of opportunistic there alongside Exotics. This is an open goal, but the angle is not there. And Styles Tree Goats actually make the defense, and that is game 2, going towards Boise State, evening up the series 1-1.
Yeah, it's a tight series to say the least. Like I said before, the game 1 is not really always true of what's going to happen for the rest of the series. It can be, but in this scenario, Boise State and Penn State are probably going to battle the series out. We could even see this series go all the way to that 7th game. But I'm curious, what do you think changed for Boise State in that 2nd game?
I think Boise State kind of took bearings of kind of how Penn State Behrend was playing, sort of noticing their play styles and being able to adapt to that better. Obviously, that first game was not the best performance for the Boise State team, and they brought it back. They didn't give up as many goals, and they actually managed to make some nice plays of their own.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree there. And despite what our overlay might say, we're actually playing NACE Star League right now. So for the viewers who just joined in, this is NACE Star League currently. Yoinker leading the pack right off the beginning, takes a shot with the help of Exotics, but Boise State defense holds strong, keeps it out. Now they have to reset. PGH not able to get a solid touch, so Styles will lead the way on an offensive play.
As we have some brilliant caster reactions, I hope to have some caster reactions like that of my own this game. So we have some demos coming through. Tree Goats will get demoed, but Boise State will manage to make the defense happen. PGH Nation alongside Exotics are just knocking this ball up in the air. And actually, PGH will get demoed. A little bit of revenge happening there as Yoinker manages to touch the ball, but Styles will knock it towards Penn State Behrend's goal.
PGH Nation pushing downfield. Tree Goats with the block. Just hangs out in the midfield line. PGH trying to find control of the play. Exotics working together with him on it. Hey Rico taps it up. PGH Nation has a shot, but he just puts it off the backboard. Scary situation diffused by the shot. Yoinker now looking for the back pass to himself off the backboard, but he has a defender in the way.
And now this ball is just in the corner. Exotics and Hey Rico are playing a little bit of race car. Neither of them actually going to be able to find contact as Styles knocks this one away. Knocks this towards the goal, and it actually will be a goal. So Boise State, minute 20 played, and they find the first goal of this game 3.
They're leading the charge. They just have to hold their lead, maybe find a security goal here if it's offered to them. Just play that solid midfield defense they've been playing. Yoinker with the pass out mid, doesn't quite get the clear he was hoping for. And Boise State will find their security goal.
With 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, Boise State up 2-0. They're feeling pretty confident, but still they cannot feel secure because lots of goals are still happening. Like that, Penn State Behrend actually manages to get a goal back, and now Boise State, they need to score some more goals if they want to feel a little happier about the lead that they have right now.
They're still ahead, but they don't have their security goal anymore, and no longer ahead, actually, after a big shot from Penn State from the midfield line. 2-2, we're at a 0-0 score line with 3 minutes and 13 left on the clock. Ball will roll up the side of the wall off the kickoff. Styles with the response first, doesn't really stop PGH. PGH still gets around 1, almost around 2. The block will bounce off the wall and soar towards the midfield line. Now, Yoinker has to hit it mid. Styles with the follow-up. Bounces off towards the backboard, and the offensive play will begin.
And now, Exotics is eyeing this ball up, looking for Boise State's goal. Hey Rico and Tree Goats are there to counter it, but this sends the ball straight towards PGH Nation. Maybe the angle is there, but no, it's not. PGH Nation will just try to recoup this alongside Exotics. Yoinker is just there in case the opportunity arises. This is an open goal for both sides. Who will get it? Actually, Tree Goats knocks it away. PGH Nation will knock the ball up, send it straight towards Exotics, who actually gets blocked out, but it doesn't even matter as Yoinker finishes it off.
Styles barely not able to keep the ball out. Penn State have found a way to get a lead in this game despite being down early. Battling it out at the midfield line now. The Exotics will lead the way, touch it towards the backboard here. Styles with the clear out from the corner. Tree Goats with the follow-up. PGH with the next tap will keep it in the offensive end a little longer. Looks for a shot of his own into the far corner. Can't quite get it. And Boise State will push it out and defuse the blades entirely.
And now Tree Goats sends this into the midfield. Sends it a little closer to Penn State Behrend's goal. But 2 minutes left. Boise State wants to get a goal to even it up, and they also want to get 2 so that they can be in the lead. That shot is not able to find it, actually, excuse me. As I say that, 3rd time's the charm for Penn State Behrend, who is now up 4-2 in this series with 1:30 left.
Penn State with a security goal of their own. Now Boise State has to play comeback, but it's definitely doable. We're at a similar scoreline as the last game, just flipped. Treegoats is up, trying to find that 3rd goal for them. They can't do it. Styles puts it towards the backboard. There has to be a follow-up. He follows it up himself and finds the back of the net off of backboard read.
Beautifully angled there by Boise State. However, they are still 1 goal behind. There is an adequate amount of time for either of these teams to score goals. And Treegoats makes a wide shot. It is not able to find it. Actually, isn't not able to find the rebound either. And now this sends it over to Yoinker and PGH Nation. PGH Nation not able to actually find the contact. Now Yoinker is playing on the other side. Hey Rico is just lurking, but Yoinker has an open goal due to that demo.
A demo on Treegoats will create all the opportunity they need. Now they have a security goal with less than a minute left on the clock. Boise State has to feel the time winding down for them. We're in an 8-goal game. Not a lot of defense being played. A shot from PGH Nation will be good, and they have a double security goal to their name. It's looking kind of doomed for Boise State University. They have plenty of time, but they really need something to change soon.
Boise State needs to crank up the tempo, needs to get some goals of their own. Yoinker, Styles says, I see your defense, but I don't care. Shoves that ball through. It is now a 2-goal game with 45 seconds left. Definitely time to be played, but Boise State needs to pick up the pace. They need to get some of these goals if they want to tie it up, go into overtime for this game.
2 more goals. Yoinker defending that initiative. Styles gets the pass out mid. A response from Penn State defense will not push it into a bad spot yet. Hey Rico with the pass over to Treegoats, who doesn't make contact. A shot from Styles blocked by PG8 Nation. And we'll reset a play as Treegoats has to pass mid again.
PGH Nation will find contact on this ball. Will disrupt it. This goes straight towards Styles. But Penn State Behrend is happy to just play the timeout. They have the goal lead. They can just play defense, and they know that Boise State has to come to them with 1 second left. Penn State Behrend will take game 3. Go up 2-1 in this series, and this, again, it is a best of 7, so they need to get 2 more wins. Boise State still has plenty of time to change strategy or play the same and just hope to play it better.
Yeah, we're seeing some really high-scoring games so far. I mean, I guess the last one before the one we just watched was only 6 goals, but that's reasonably high, all things considered. You almost have to wonder if either team is considering making a change to lean harder on defense and beat them on that initiative. But we'll have to see what the plan is. I mean, if that was me personally, I don't think I'd try to change my play style too much. I think I'd more just try to round off communication and maybe force them to play our game. But, I mean, I'm not sitting in the driver's seat. We'll have to see what they have ahead for us.
Definitely, both of these teams seem to have a strategy. Right now, Penn State Behrend seems to have the strategy working out just a little bit better as they have a 1-game lead. See the kickoff. This goes over to Penn State Behrend's side. However, it is not any sort of early goal quite yet. Sent over to Boise State's side. Hey Rico and Styles setting this one up to try and make a goal. This will just go over to PGH Nation. Treegoats not actually able to find the follow-up. And Exotics and Styles will get demoed.
Clear out to Styles, who hits it off the wall. A weird bounce prevents him from following it up. PGH Nation takes the shot. A block from Hey Rico. Styles with the follow-up. Will he be able to dribble? Has Yoinker in the way. 50-50 will go against the wall. Treegoats has the next tap. He just hits it downfield. Exotics is in the way. Doesn't make contact, so Treegoats gets the pass. A response from Yoinker is a little low, but Hey Rico is able to get in the way anyway. PGH Nation with the flick. Tries to get past the second one. Does get past the second one. Treegoats taps it down. And now we'll just play some Boise State defense.
Boise State is playing this defense quite well. Yoinker sends the ball up into the air, but Penn State Behrend is not in the right spot to capitalize quite yet. This ball just keeps on being sent away into the corner and back towards the goal, but the angle is just not there. Treegoats is lurking in this midfield. And now Styles, Hey Rico are trying to play this defensive plus offensive game as PGH Nation tries to send sends the ball towards the goal, but it's not successful. And now this opens up Boise State to try and make an offensive play happen.
Exotic push towards the wall. Tree Goats pass out mid, no response. Ends up being a clear from PGH Nation. Hit off the wall to Exotic. Styles not quite able to do a whole lot with that play. Hey Rico passing it down mid. Tree Goats with the shot away. Now Hey Rico can respond and push it forward. Hits it off the backboard. And a response will not quite find the back of the net yet, but Styles has the follow-up. And that will result in Boise State finding the first goal 2 minutes in. A low-scoring game.
Broncos finding the first goal with 3 minutes left. They are feeling pretty good about that one. Definitely, they know that that is not enough. They need to get some more goals if they want to win this game 4. Exotics will send the ball over towards Boise State's goal, but it will not happen. And now Hey Rico is here to counter. And actually, Yoinker does find the contact. This ball will get sent over to Tree Goats and will be knocked into the midfield. This ball is just being sent back and forth. Neither team setting up a goal opportunity quite yet, but both of them are definitely trying.
Tree Goats plays it towards the wall. Hey Rico's now up looking for a play out mid. Gets it under one, almost past the second, but Exotics is in the way. He will not fall for that play. Styles pushing it towards the wall now, just has to play a little defense. Keeps it to himself, maybe for the pass to Hey Rico. He does get it over, blocked by PGH Nation. The play will continue Boise State defense for a little longer.
Yoinker just sends this across over to Boise State's goal. So that ball was definitely too slow to make a goal happen. And now this ball is just being played in this corner. I feel like it's been played in this corner for about 4 minutes of this game as we cross 2 minutes. PGH Nation is playing with Hey Rico, and now Exotics, Yoinker are trying to make the defense happen. Hey Rico overcommits, not able to find contact, and now this might be Styles having to defend the goal from Penn State Behrend. Will actually successfully do that for now, as Hey Rico is able to recoup and get back over to Boise State's goal. This is sent over to midfield, sent over to Boise State's goal once again, knocked up, and actually Exotics finds the goal.
Not quite able to get the clear there. Penn State pulls ahead. Definitely not the situation you want to be in, Boise State. You want to be well ahead in this game as you are on your last couple lives. Styles with the pass to the wall. Hey Rico is in the way, gets the dunk, has the second touch, but is blocked at the last minute by Exotic. Yoinker with the follow-up will hit it out mid. A pass over, and the three-point play. Penn State will have a passing play to find the back of the net and will lead now with 1:13 left on the clock.
And now Boise State, with about a minute left, they need to start making some goals of their own. They can't just be playing defense. Styles will get a nice save there. And now Tree Goats will try to send this over, but it looks like Penn State Behrend has a coordinated play happening of some sort. This ball will get sent over to Tree Goats, and Hey Rico's trying to find a touch on this ball, but it will not happen. This ball is just getting bounced around all over the place. Will get sent over to Penn State Behrend's corner. However, Boise State is not in the position they need to be to score a goal quite yet.
Hey Rico on the wall. The bump spills out mid. Oh, no response from Boise State defense. This could be an opportunity. Blocked the last minute. Styles has to get the clear. Clears it out to Hey Rico with the response, but Yoinker will actually win out the 50-50.
And now Exotics just knocks this ball up in the air. Penn State Behrend is playing with their time. They don't necessarily need to score a goal. But 10 seconds left. Tree Goats, Styles, Hey Rico, they're all desperately trying to make a goal happen onto Penn State Behrend's goal. Will it happen? It will. And we're going into overtime for the first time in this series.
50-50 in favor of Styles. Tree Goats is up. Not quite able to do it. Hey Rico looking for the pass out mid. Tree Goats has the response, but he's waiting for it in the corner. Hits it off the sidewall. Won't really do anything with it yet. PGH Nation with the clear out to Hey Rico. Doesn't really go anywhere. Now with the shot blocked by PGH Nation at the last moment. Playing a lot of defense here. Yoinker's finally able to cross the midfield line.
Now Styles playing with Yoinker up in the air. And this ball will just be in this corner. Once again, we've seen for the 15th time, actually a demo comes across on Exotics. This might open up Boise State to make a goal or some sort of play happen. But no, this ball just gets sent up the air. Yoinker does not allow Tree Goats to make that play happen. But now Penn State Behrend has to play a little bit of defense. And Hey Rico is trying to make the shot. It will not happen. PGH Nation will block. But now Boise State might have left their goal open for Penn State Behrend to try and make a play happen. Hey Rico is here on the defense alongside Tree Goats and Styles. And right now this ball is just stuck in the midfield.
Launch downfield by Styles. Tree Goats up and in the way, taps it towards the back wall. Now, Hey Rico. Yoinker. Styles. Exotics is pushing it downfield, gets past Styles. The midfield line is breached. Hey Rico is able to make the clear happen at the last moment here. PGH not responding, so Hey Rico gets to push up instead. PGH pushing towards the wall, and Styles sets to 50-50, and it will just roll up.
And Yoinker and PGH Nation are with this ball. This gets sent over to Boise State side. Actually sent across the other side into the midfield. PGH Nation makes a good shot. Will be blocked. They will be blocked by Styles. Yoinker actually got stolen away by Exotics. But Yoinker is here on the defense. Gets sent into the corner. Styles is trying to make a goal happen. The angle is just not there. But now, hey, Rico and Styles might try to make a play happen. PGH Nation actually saves the ball for Penn State. Behrend will maybe get sent over to Boise State side. No, it'll just get sent over to the midfield. This ball is just going back and forth with no ground to be gained by either team. And now Tree Goats is pushing this ball through. PGH Nation sends it across. This goes over to Boise State side.
Push off the wall. Styles passed over to the Tree Goats, playing it off the wall as well. Yoinker with the 50-50 will spill out mid. Exotics with the follow-up. Styles is in the way. Gets the clear at the last moment. We're about to cross the 3-minute mark in overtime here as Yoinker takes a shot blocked at the last moment by Boise State defense. Hey Rico looking for the pass out mid. Blocked by Exotics. Penn State is unwilling to give up their offensive pressure right now. And there's no response yet from Boise State. They're just waiting for that moment that they can cross the midfield line.
Both of these teams desperately want to get this goal as you see the butting heads, and actually, hey, Rico will get demoed. Maybe this opens up an opportunity for Penn State Behrend, but no, it's over on their side of the goal. And hey, Rico is here to knock this ball towards Penn State Behrend's goal once again. But the opening is not there quite yet. This ball gets bounced up into the air. Styles tries to make the shot. It will not find it. Tree Goats, this ball is in a corner once again, and Exotics and Tree Goats are fighting for it. Hey, Rico is actually dribbling this ball across the ceiling. Gets sent across, gets sent back out of Boise State's side, and as we cross almost 4 minutes in overtime and still no goal in sight for either team.
Only a 4-goal game, but it's going to 9 minutes. Hey Rico with 50-50. Exotics. Now we're waiting on PGH. It's the clear downfield, blocked by Hey Rico. Clear out Styles. Tapping it away. A demo, but it's not going to open up anything. No response from Boise State yet. Tree Goats looking to pass it out mid. Gets the tap over. PGH is up and in the way, but it won't be in a good spot. A shot from Hey Rico is just going to be a little bit high.
And now Boise State may have overcommitted as Penn State Behrend tries to make a goal onto the Broncos. However, it will not be successful. 4 minutes, 30 seconds into overtime, and still both these teams playing a very even game. Yoinker will send this ball into the corner once again. Hey Rico will send it across, and maybe this is the open goal. Will it? No, it will not be the open goal. PGH Nation manages to save it. Exotics and Yoinker are also there to save it as well. This gets sent over to the Broncos side once again. Hey Rico will get demo. Tree Goats not able to find contact. Styles sends it into the corner side of Penn State Behrend, but Yoinker will send it across into the midfield, but Tree Goats is there to disrupt and steal the ball away. Is dribbling with it, trying to set up a play with Hey Rico, but it is not successful. Now Styles joins the fray. Will one of these teams please score a goal? I would like to see a goal scored. We have reached 5 minutes in overtime, and Hey Rico and Styles just knock it away. We're back and forth. It's still a stalemate.
Styles barely able to get past one. The pass over to Trigo will be enough. Boise State will come out on top of that. We will be going into the 5th game now. 2-2 to both teams. We've gone down all the way from a best-of-7 to a best-of-3 now.
Yeah, as we reduce the number of games played, definitely Game 4 took some years off my life. Watching, anticipating, hoping that one of these teams would score a goal. Ultimately, in the end, Boise State did get the final goal in overtime. However, Penn State Behrend definitely had an excellent defensive game holding on for that long. Boise State was really struggling to try and get a goal in the end. And so I think Game 5 is anybody's game as we get into this final stretch. Anybody can definitely get a win here.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to say who's going to win. I mean, clearly, based off the 4-2 to both teams, that these teams are very evenly matched. And we'll have to see which team actually is the better 4-2 here. And it's going to be quite the battle.
Styles and Trigos are just playing in this corner. Once again, it seems to be Boise State's comfort zone as this will get passed over to Trigos. Maybe this is in goal opportunity, and it looks like the save was not there. It might have actually assisted Trigos.
Yeah, Trigos just playing to say, hey, I'm going to win this 50-50. I'll just go for the single hop and try to keep it in your net's end, and he's able to do it. PGH Nation trying to find a way around Styles. Can't do it. The pass out mid will be good for Hey Rico, who taps it out mid too, but Yoinker's there first. Trigos with the 50-50. It'll bounce up to Styles, and Styles will lead the way downfield.
Trigos with the save, or excuse me, not the save, with the ball knocking up into the air. That is on Penn State Behrend's side. Exotics will not actually be able to find second contact as Styles is now alongside Trigos. And actually Trigos will get demoed, and PGH Nation will get demoed back. A little bit of a revenge. This ball is just getting sent across over to the Broncos side, sent into the midfield. PGH Nation actually just wants to find contact, not able to find it. Now Yoinker might try to make a shot here.
Exotics pushes it towards the sidewall, playing a little slow, has team to his left, not able to make quality contact. However, PGH Nation waiting back. Exotics pushing up. Yoinker with the clear out is able to keep the play on Boise State's end a little bit longer. A shot from PGH off of a whiff from Boise State will put us back to a 0-0 scoreline.
Now is either team's game. 3 minutes, 30 seconds, plenty of time for both of these teams. We've seen what they can do offensively and defensively. Question is, who can do it better? Trigos not able to find good contact. This ball goes into the corner. Hey Rico actually will send it across to the other corner of Penn State Behrend's side. Now Yoinker actually will demo Trigos successfully with a player down. Maybe Boise State has to go back onto the defensive. Trigos will send it across. All 3 players of Boise State are pushing this ball across into the midfield, trying to find a goal happen. PGH Nation says no, that will not happen. Yoinker trying to find contact, will clash heads with Trigos, and now this ball actually will get sent over to Exotic, and kind of a reset we have happening over here.
Pass over by Hey Rico. Exotics with the response off the wall. Trigos gets the 50-50, but loses his life over it. Styles pushing downfield, is able to get past one, not able to get past Exotics. Now Trigos has to respond. Pushing it into the far corner. Styles has an opportunity here. Can't really get past anyone else, however, and Hey Rico plays it downfield. Has one guy to get past, can't get the flick, so Exotics play it towards the wall.
As this ball is just kind of slowly traversing through the air, both of these teams are eyeing up any opportunities. However, this looks like it will just be a midfield stalemate. Gets sent over to the other side. Trigos uses the boost to accomplish the contact. Yoinker will just knock this ball up into the air. It's just going very slow. This will be a dribble. Actually dodges out a Boise State attacker. And now Exotics will be contesting this in the corner as well, as Styles and Trigos are looking for the play. It will not happen. This will be a reset.
Styles is up. Feints out of the way, leaves it for Hey Rico, who gets the clear downfield. Exotic leaves it for Oinker, who is also up for the ball. Trigos plays it towards the sidewall, trying to pass to a teammate. Can't really get it there. To the 50-50 from Penn State will spill out mid. Last-ditch effort clear from Boise State will save them. Minute winding down on the clock. 1-1 scoreline. Still anybody's game 5.
And this is the kind of series that you want to watch, where you see both of these teams are evenly matched. They both desperately want to score goals. They want to play the best they can. And both of these teams are achieving what we sought to see in this game. Both of them 2-2, 1-1 as we cross 1 minute. Hey, Rico looks for a shot. This will just get knocked over to PGH Nation, who blocks it, deflects it, dribbles it, sends it over to the side and now into the air. Styles actually is able to find the contact there, but PGH Nation says no, back to your side. Trigos is boosting all the way across, but not able to find a successful shot. This will get sent up, and maybe Trigos makes the play happen. Hey, Rico also there as well, but still no contact to be made onto this goal. And as we cross 20 seconds, it's looking like a potential overtime once again.
Styles is up, hits it off the back wall. Now Yoinker pressing downfield. PGH Nation in the air looking for a shot of his own. Can't quite get it. Styles with the follow-up. Trying to flick over one. Does get it. Trigos with the follow-up now past the midfield line. We have Hey Rico trying to make sure that they find the back of the net, but they're not able to do it. We'll go to another overtime. Oh, and we will cut at overtime. And we're back. Okay.
We just wanted to keep the viewers in anticipation of who would get that 50-50 at the start.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Oh,
and that was a very short overtime. Thank goodness. We had to balance out that very long overtime.
Yeah.
So I think Boise State got that, right?
Yep, Boise State got that.
So Boise State is now up 3-2. They need one more win.
Yep.
If they want to secure this series.
But
However,
it's so close.
if we've seen the back and forth, and I'm starting to think that just the way the plot, the script is going, that Penn State Behrend is going to take this 6 game to obviously take us to a 7-game series to make it as close as possible. Who knows, maybe Boise State has found their stride and they have a dominating performance. Maybe Penn State Behrend has something up their sleeves. What do you think?
Oh, man. I don't know. After the last couple games, it's so hard to tell. I mean, Boise State has come away with both of them, but, man, if it has not been, like, down to the wire on all of these games, it's just so stressful. I cannot tell you at all who's going to win this series. Styles.
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Yeah, at this point, flip a coin. After that long of a overtime in that one, game 4, you might have wanted them to flip a coin, honestly.
And now we have Yoinker looking for the angle on the goal, but no, this will just be sent into the corner of doom. Corner of doomed goal sent over to the other corner of doomed goals where no plays are to be happening. This will just be a reset sort of by the Broncos. Tree Goats and PGH Nation are fighting for it. Hey, Rico might be on the defense, but no. Actually, that ball manages to sneak past the Boise State defenders and give Penn State Behrend an early goal.
The 50-50 out from Hey Rico. Styles is up and in the way. Yoinker is able to push downfield, looks for a solo play. 50-50 with Tree Goats. Pushes against the wall. Hey Rico playing downfield. Styles has a little bit of space. Makes a little bit of time for himself. Now Yoinker challenged with staying in the way of this Boise State offense.
Really, this is anybody's game. Boise State is playing offensively, but they realized that they had no play opportunities, so they had to go back on the defense. Hey Rico actually sends it over, but it's blocked by Yoinker. PGH Nation is also in the goal in the back line just in case. And now the Broncos have to play a little bit of defense here as they try to get their boost, try to make sure that they don't let open any more goals. Yoinker is playing this across the ceiling, maybe able to make this shot. Actually gets set it up for PGH Nation, who gets the second goal for Penn State Behrend in this 6th game.
Styles hits it off the back wall. Follow up. Not quite there from Penn State. Now Hey Rico is playing it towards the wall, trying to play a little offense. Tree Goats spilling it down. It's a security goal for Penn State. It's not feeling good for Boise State, but they still have one more life left. Pass off the back wall is not going to be good. Exotics hits it off the sidewall. Now Styles into the corner.
Styles just kind of playing a little bit of defense here, trying to play goalie. Actually, it will be Tree Goats who knocks that one away. As Styles maybe, oh, it looks like it was a pass, but it looks like it gets sent back over to Tree Goats. Tree Goats maybe has the opportunity, doesn't find good contact, and now PGH Nation is contesting as well. This might be an open goal, but no, Penn State Behrend manages to make the defense. Exotics and Yoinker are just in this goal here. They have the 2-0 lead. They can play a little bit safer. And this will get sent over to the midfield, will get sent over to that corner once again. Trigoats wants to find contact on this ball, dribble it away. Actually, Styles will send it over. This ball is just in the corner once again, and that actually is a beautiful goal found by Exotics.
A 3-0 lead for Penn State. 2 minutes left on the clock. It's looking pretty solid for them. Like they have this game 6. Looks like we'll be looking at a game 7, but there's still plenty of time left on the clock. 2 minutes is plenty of time for the game to shift entirely. 2 players up for Penn State. They're sure of that play, but they're not able to get it done. Styles now leading the way down the field, has people to his right and his left. He chooses Trigoats, goes for the play here, and does not quite find the back of the net. A shot from Hey Rico almost finding its way in, but it will just barely be ticked out at the last moment.
Now this ball is just kind of stuck in the midfield, not going either way. Actually, it will go over to Penn State for inside, but the angle is not there for the Broncos, and now they have to send this ball back over to the midfield. Exotics will send it across. Hey Rico will actually match that, but now PGH Nation tries to make the shot. It's a little wide at Trigoats, trying to find some contact. Actually, it will be Hey Rico sending over to Trigoats, but PGH Nation just been able to find the contact on this ball and stop these Boise State plays in their tracks.
Now, Exotic is up with the block. Styles has to put it into his own corner. PGH Nation will roll it out mid. And now Yoinker will find the 4th goal to Penn State's name in game 6. It looks kind of doomed for Boise State at this point. Not that they have to stress too much. I mean, I would still be stressing because we're looking at a game 7 now, and that's very stressful.
Game 7s are always very stressful. Whenever you go to the last game of the series, it's always very stressful. Boise State manages to get a goal of their own, so they will not go goalless in this 6th game. However, with 45 seconds remaining, you have to believe this is a very tall task for Boise State to try and even it up. They have to play both good offense and good defense. Penn State Behrend is just going to look to try and keep this lead that they have. They don't even need to play any goals here. It's actually Exotics will send this across, just buy some time. And this ball is just going back and forth, gets sent over into the corner. And this is just wasting so much time. Penn State Behrend is very happy with the way this game is going in game 6. 15 seconds left. It is very doubtful that Boise State will be able to find 3 goals.
Styles doesn't quite make contact. Scary situation. As the clock winds down, the adrenaline is probably starting to diffuse a little bit for this game. It'll start up soon after as we enter game 7. Penn State taking game 6.
Yeah. Joe, do you smell that? You smell that?
What am I
Smells like we
smelling?
got a series cooking.
Oh, we have quite the series cooking. I feel like we've had the series cooking since game 4.
Oh, woo.
It's been in the oven, to say the
It's
least.
been in the oven, and it might be ready for completion over here. We just got to sprinkle a little bit of spices, a little bit of toppings.
Yep.
As we get into this game 7, both of these teams back and forth. It's been crazy. We had a 5-minute we had an overtime that was longer than the actual game.
Yep.
And
Wild.
then we had like a 10-second overtime. So who knows? Maybe this will be a stomp. Maybe this will be the world's closest game with a 30-minute overtime. I really hope that isn't the case for the sake of my voice. However, 3-3, and both of these teams are looking to find the first goal of this final game of the series. PGH Nation is playing this one across alongside Yoinker. This ball is just getting sent back and forth. Hey Rico actually might be able to find the first goal, and that is an excellent start for Boise State. However, we've seen that first goal means little to nothing in this series.
Yeah, I mean, there's still so much game left to play, but it's a great start for Boise State. You have to be feeling confident on that note, but Styles just not quite able to make contact. Yoinker's going to say, okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to the 0-0 scoreline after wasting 29 seconds in this game. We're going to make best of 7, or this game 7, the most stressful game you've ever played in your entire life. Styles now passing it over to the Trigoats off the wall, long clear down. PGH Nation dropping into his corner. We're going to play some Boise State offense.
Boise State offense, but now this ball gets sent over back into the midfield, so Boise State will be on the offense for a little bit longer, but the Exotics will knock this away. Now Boise State needs to get back over to their side of the goal. They don't want to get scored on. Hey Rico actually might be able to find an open goal, but no, that is PGH Nation able to find the defense once again. This ball gets thrown over to Boise State's side. The Broncos are making the defense. And Hey Rico actually will get demoed, but not before sending it over to Penn State Behrend's side. So this will be a little bit of a reset. Nope, just kidding. Styles makes the goal happen.
just a bad clear from Penn State. Gives Boise State the opportunity to find the back of the net there. A strong shot to the top corner, but we're not out of the woods yet. Penn State still has offense. Yoinker leaving it out to Exotics. He's going to take it up the wall. Hey Rico gets the demo, not before stopping the play, however. Tree Goats leaving it for Styles, taking it downfield past the midfield line. A flick over Exotics forces him to throw it straight up and down. Rico's not able to do anything else with the ball, so he just pushes it away. Tree Goats has one to beat. The clear out into the midfield. Now he has one to his left, and Hey Rico actually leaves it for Styles. Hits off the backboard, but they won't be able to find the back of the net.
That was almost a very good play set up there by Boise State. Wasn't actually able to find the completion. Now Exotics is sending this ball across towards Yoinker, and the three-point play actually is successful as Penn State Behrend evens this series up 2-2 as we cross 3 minutes.
Back to that 0-0 scoreline. Neither team able to pull ahead or find a security goal. Boise State currently leading on forcing someone to equalize. Right off the bat, Exotics is up, tries to stop it. Styles is in the way. The 50-50 will hang in front of the net. They have to find a way out. Tree Goats gets the clear. Styles clears it to the wall. Tree Goats with the follow-up off the wall. They're just killing time at this point. Yoinker also pushes it against the wall. Styles has Hey Rico, just leaves it, takes it himself, goes for the flick, gets a bump past one. They bump each other, so Hey Rico has space. He takes the big boost, looks for the double tap, doesn't get it. Tree Goats has an opportunity here, gets past one, gets past two, and the ghost tap will give Boise State another opportunity to hold their lead. 2.5 minutes-ish on that clock.
That was such a weird play. That ball was going so slow. It just got dribbled along, and somehow they found an open goal. And now Penn State Behrend, as we approach 2 minutes, they want to even this scoreline up a little bit. PGH Nation and Exotics are on other opposite sides, just trying to make sure that there is an opening to be found, or at least a save to be made. And now Styles, speaking of saves, will knock this one across. Hey Rico will get demoed, and Yoinker will send this ball across. Maybe it is defended. It will get defended by Hey Rico. That angle is not to be found for Penn State Behrend as the ball goes into the corner. Once again, we've seen it many a time as actually Styles doesn't need to make that defense play happen as the angle is not there for Penn State Behrend. She goes, knocks this across into the midfield, but right into Yoinker. And now Hey Rico maybe will be able to find second contact with this ball. We'll send it over to the other side, and now with 1:30 left, Boise State is feeling more and more confident as this time ticks down.
Yoinker with a tap down and clear out from Boise State will cross the midfield line. Exotics blocking at the last moment. Styles gets all the way across. The ball's rolling towards the net. Exotics doesn't make contact. The choke at the last moment. Boise State get their security goal with 1:15 left on the clock. That could be huge. That's a huge morale bonus for Boise State and a downer for Penn State, but they're not out of it yet. There's still plenty of time. 2 goals and even 10 seconds is very doable, but they have to make something happen now. Their backs are against the wall.
As we see Boise State's goal being threatened, but this will just get knocked over to Penn State Behrend's side once again. And Yoinker actually will find contact, but it goes straight towards Styles as BGH Nation gets demoed. Maybe this opens up a goal for the Broncos. It will not. This ball might get sent over to Boise State's side, but no, gets sent over to Penn State Behrend's side. And now Boise State is just playing the game of let's bear in as much time as possible as we have a 5th goal scored by Boise State. This is now a 3-goal game with about 40 seconds left. Can Boise State keep this lead? You have to believe they have a very good chance of doing so.
Even from a mentality standpoint, Boise State has got to be feeling so much better now coming into these last few seconds. They just have to play solid defense and they walk away with the game. They can even afford to give up a few, but Penn State, they're not down out of the count yet. They're going to fight it out. The question is whether or not their fight will be in vain. Styles working together with Tree Goats to keep it on the Penn State defensive end a little longer. Now PGH finally able to cross the midfield line, but as the clock winds down, that will be Boise State taking it, going 5-2 out of a best of 7 and going all the way to game 7.
Yeah, Boise State managing to win the series 4-3. Penn State Behrend definitely brought their A game today, but Boise State was just able to find that extra inch in this game of not even inches, millimeters. It felt like this series was as close as you'd want it to be. And based off the first game where Boise State got kind of wiped, maybe you wouldn't suspect that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just super telling at this point.
And Boise State Esports is always looking for new students to join us in our varsity teams, as well as broadcast staff and on-air casters. Top talent, along with good grades and eligibility can improve your chances as well. Go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information on how you can join the Broncos. And with that being said, that brings Boise State up to 5-2 again in the NACE Star League qualifier. To get into playoffs, you need to be the top half. And so I feel like, I don't know if this secures it for the Broncos. I think they have one more game to play, but they definitely will feel very confident going into their final match. And we will see who the player of the game is. And actually is Tree Goats. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I was already thinking about the 3 that I would pick as like our caster given options, right? And then Tree Goats was the first one I thought of. Tree Goats, Styles, PHG, all really top performers today. Really, everyone showed up. I mean, we had so much Rocket League played. Everyone had their shining moment at least once. But Tree Goats is the player of the game today. An excellent showing from him.
Definitely. And the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Tree Goats is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Congratulations, Tree Goats. We just finish these plays up. Obviously, Tree Goats had lots of them. And do we have any final takeaways, or do you have any final takeaways for the Broncos as they head into their final match in Week 8, the NACE Star League?
I guess my final takeaway is you're never as far behind as you probably feel. I mean, you're never out for the count. We've had multiple comebacks just in that series, and just by Game 1, it felt like Boise State was already doomed if you're looking at it from just Game 1, but they got ahead of the game, and they managed to clutch it up right in the very last moments.
Speaking of clutch, that will take us into the top 5 plays presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. For all of us here at Boise State Esports, thank you for joining us. Be kind, stay safe, and have a great night. Styles and Tree Goats are just playing in this corner. Once again, it seems to be Boise State's comfort zone, as this will get passed over to Tree Goats. Maybe this is a goal opportunity, and it looks like the save was not there. It might have actually assisted Tree Goats.
Yeah, Tree Goats just playing to say, hey, I'm going to win this 50-50. I'll just go for the single hop and try to keep it in.
This is an open goal for both sides. Who will get it? Actually, Tree Goats knocks it away. PGH Nation will knock the ball up, send it straight towards Exotics, who actually gets blocked out, but it doesn't even matter as Yoinker finishes it off.
Styles barely not able to keep the ball out. Penn State have found a way to get a lead with that play. Hey Rico passing it down mid. Tree Goats with the shot away. Now Hey Rico can respond and push it forward. Hits it off the backboard. And a response will not quite find the back of the net yet, but Styles has the follow-up, and that will result in Boise State finding the first goal 2 minutes in. A low-scoring game.
Broncos finding the first goal with 3 minutes out, as Hey Rico is able to recoup and get back over to Boise State's goal. This is sent over to midfield, sent over to Boise State's goal once again. Knocked up, and actually Exotics finds the goal.
Not quite able to get the clear there. Penn State pulls ahead. Definitely not the situation you want to be in Boise State. You want to be well ahead.
Score a goal, but 10 seconds left. Tree Goats, Styles, Hey Rico, they're all desperately trying to make a goal happen onto Penn State Behrend's goal. Will it happen? It will, and we're going into overtime for the first time in this series.
50-50.